1027 WNEW. This is the special Merry Kissmas edition. That is Rip It Out from Ace's solo album, Let Me Go Rock and Roll. Hold on, it's not time for you to talk yet. Let Me Go Rock and Roll from Kiss Alive, Young and Wasted from Lick It Up. Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll from Psycho Circus, and Started with Nothing to Lose. And now, I had to give you an introduction, bud. I can't just have you come in without any fanfare. He was the first ever guest on this radio show almost 2 years ago when you went crazy with the Austin Powers sound effects machine. Remember that?
How could I forget?
And you spilled the beans before you were supposed to about the farewell tour, which nobody can forget. And he is here back live in the studio with us. My good buddy Ace Frehley.
I spilled the beans.
Yeah, remember that, man?
How come there can only be 239 beans in every can of Campbell's Pork and Beans? Because if there would be one more, it would be too farty. Merry Kissmas.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Ace is Oh, man, you. I hope you got more than that because...
Oh, come on. I'm just starting.
Oh, God. Ace is here live in the studio. We're going to have a great night ahead of us like we always do. Nothing but Kiss tunes tonight. Your requests, 877-692-1027. Ace, I've got emails and phone calls all week from all over the world. People excited that you're here. And do you want to take a couple calls throughout the night from listeners as well or no?
As long as you take some from Jendell, no problem.
All right, absolutely. That's a long-distance call, but we can do that. All right, we have to take a short break. We're going to let Ace get settled, and we'll get some of your Kiss tunes on. We have Kissmas presents to give you tonight, and your questions for Ace, and a lot of music as well, all coming up next on the special edition of Saturday Night Rocks 1027 WNEW.
Woo! You.
Saturday Night Rocks 1027 WNEW. This is the original Merry Kissmas special. Thank you for tuning in. Just walking into the studio a few minutes ago, Ace Frehley is live with us tonight to kind of hang out, take some phone calls, play some Kiss records, tell some stories, tell some jokes, whatever it may be. And we are going to take a few phone calls throughout the night as well for Ace, and the toll-free number, 877-692-1027. So, Ace, before we go any further tonight, why don't you give us the little kind of status report, the state of Kiss, as to what the latest is about this tour with Australia that's been announced, and anything you can tell us.
The contract is so long where it's like, I just went through it tonight.
I don't want the deal points, but just tell me, when was the last time you were in Australia? When did you tour there last? Was it 80?
That's a good question.
80 probably, right?
No, I think we were there.
A reunion tour?
Yes.
That's right, because I saw footage
I remember
of that.
gambling then. There was this crazy game where they throw a coin up in the air, and it's either heads or tails.
Really?
Yeah.
I've gambled with you. I bet you've played it.
I played it, and I did better at Baccarat.
Yeah. Ace is a great card player.
My name is Frehley. Ace Frehley. That kind of stuff.
I got to tell a funny story because Ace and I were in Vegas, when was it? In March, and we're at the Luxor playing cards. And Ace is, the show was the next night at the place. And we're at the card table and we're hanging out, and Ace is trying to keep a low profile because you were out, you wanted to enjoy yourself, play cards, whatever. So Ace is hanging out, and we're at this table, and do you remember this? There was the kid sitting next to you, and the whole time this kid kept looking up, trying to figure out who Ace was, and Ace is just like, let's focus on the cards. You had a lot of money out there. Let's play cards. So the whole time, people couldn't quite figure out who he was, but they knew he was somebody. People were looking, and Ace was just ignoring it. And then the pit boss of all people comes over, and at the top of his lungs, he goes, "Hey, you're Ace Frehley. I sure could use some tickets to your concert tomorrow night."
Yeah.
And that was like
very low key.
Very low key, and then that was it for the rest of the night. And then we all lost money, I think, so.
I don't know. I thought I won.
Maybe you did, because you stayed there longer.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you looking forward to going back to Australia?
Very much so. I'm into kangaroos. Big time.
The million-dollar question that everybody wants to know, that I've been getting a million emails about, is will there be a final show in the U.S.? Do you know that? Do you know yet?
Absolutely, in April, Madison Square Garden, hopefully.
Beautiful. All right.
Several.
Good. We got people that want to talk to you, and we're going to play a lot of music tonight as well. We're just going to kick back and have a good time. The holidays are here. And, Ace, why don't you pick a song that we should play? I got every Kiss record right here.
Well, I just spoke to Peter. So why don't we kick something off?
Where is Peter? He should call in, or we should have had him come by.
I invited him by, but he was so jammed up from shopping, Christmas shopping, and all that stuff. He was just burnt. But God love this guy. I mean, he's such a great drummer, and he was there every night. We did 126 shows, and he was there.
A lot of times in pain too, right? Because he was going through stuff with his.
We take care of ourselves, and we get through it, and we make things happen, and there's no complaints. But Peter did a song he dedicated to his mother, Blue Moon.
I don't know.
Blue Moon Rising, or what was the name of that?
That may be on one of his records after Kiss. You thinking?
Blue Moon Over Brooklyn.
Yeah, I don't have that.
If you don't have handy, what about Baby Driver? Or
let's do
Hooligan?
Baby Driver.
Something for Peter. I want to cheer him up.
Absolutely.
I miss him. I haven't seen him in a while, and his lovely wife Gigi.
And Peter, if you're listening, 877-692-1027, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. We'll pop you on and say hello real quick. That would be cool. Hooligan from Love Gun is Ace's pick, with, of course, Peter Criss on vocals, as we continue with the Merry Kissmas Special. Merry Kissmas Special, Saturday Night Rocks, 1027 WNEW. It's Eddie Trunk here, and that's a request for, I think it's Jerry in Lodi, New Jersey tonight. Naked City from Kiss Unmasked. Ace, any recollections about Unmasked? You actually had a lot of songs on that album.
I did.
Can I tell him the story about when you called in tonight about earlier in the night about that song?
Sure. But I don't remember what I said.
About She?
Good.
When you were Ace called in before I officially started the show at 10, from 9:30 to 10, I played bands doing Kiss cover songs, and Ace was listening on the ride in, and he heard She, and he goes, "Man, I forgot how good we did this song," and it was Anthrax on it. He didn't know it was not him. That was classic.
You've been in Limos before. The systems aren't that great. What can I say?
Well, actually, on Kiss Unmasked, you have a number of songs. You got Talk to Me on here, Two Sides of the Coin, Torpedo Girl. You have 3 songs on this record. So
Torpedo Girl.
Torpedo.
That was the most misunderstood record.
In what way?
I can't verbalize it.
All right. Naked City from Unmasked. We had the live version of Making Love from
You're getting there.
Kiss Alive 2. We got a theme going here. A song a lot of people would like to hear Kiss do in concert these days, Making Love. Great tune from Rock and Roll Over.
Written by Paul Stanley, right?
Yeah. Yep. And Hooligan for Peter tonight. And that's, of course, from the Love Gun CD, and Creatures of the Night, the title track, with some monstrous drumming from Eric Carr on that. The late great Eric Carr. On Saturday Night Rocks, the special All Kiss edition. Ace is live in the studio with us, hanging out as we celebrate the holidays.
It's not hanging out.
What are you doing?
I'm just sitting there.
No. We have to take a commercial break.
I can't help it. You always leave it open.
I know. I'm good. I'm a good setup man.
I called you. Your wife. I spoke to your wife last night.
She
goes, "You're out getting drunk, and she's baking cookies."
She's not my wife, so let's not push it that far just yet. But she was. Girlfriend. Yes, she was baking cookies. And
things might change. Anything can happen. You never know. I'm not going to say
anything can happen for you too, right?
Hey, life is strange.
We have the bearded Ace in the studio tonight.
The bearded
Ace.
Yeah, I have my pirate jacket outside. God.
So you got the little facial hair going. It looks good on you.
My girlfriend likes it. What am I going to do?
There you go. Let's take a call. You want to take a couple phone calls from some people? Then we have to take a commercial break. We'll pop some people on real quick. Let's see here. I don't know where to begin because there's a whole list of people here. Let's just pop one down. Hey, is this Gary?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Gary, you're on live with Ace Frehley.
Ace Frehley, you're the best.
Thank you, sir.
I have to do something, man. Brian.
Hey, Ace.
Oh,
Hey.
It's one of those dual phone lines.
I've seen you 5 times. You're the greatest guitarist. Rock on.
Thank you.
That's my 13-year-old brother. He loves you. We love you. We're going to miss you so much when you're not on the road anymore.
Hey, Gary, you're calling from the Bronx, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Ace's stomping grounds there.
Ace, last summer we chatted, or 2 summers ago when you were on with Eddie, we chatted about the Bronx. I asked you about DeWitt Clinton.
Yeah, I got attacked by a fag in the locker room.
Dude, only
Great
you.
school.
Only you, Ace.
Gary,
Hey.
you got a question?
Yeah, I got a one quick silly question for you, Ace.
His name was Herbie.
Where did the Gene licking your neck thing start?
You mean you only went that far? It got worse towards the end of the tour. Licking the neck, that was like halfway through the tour. When did it start? Halfway through the tour.
All right. What song is that in again? That's in
I don't know, but it doesn't
Black
matter.
Diamond, I think. I'm not sure. Someone will call in and certainly tell
Later
us.
it got to be almost tongue kissing.
Ace makes out with Gene on the farewell tour, so it's really something to go see.
It's not one of the high points of the show. So,
all right, let's talk to Shannon, who's calling from New York City. Shannon, you're on live. How are you?
Hi, Ace.
hi, honey.
Oh, God, I'm so happy I'm talking to you.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm 16 years old, and I'm a big fan of yours, and my parents influenced me being a Kiss fan. And,
That's
I want
interesting.
to-
Have you ever been to a Kiss show?
yeah, I've been to 2. I went to 2 farewell tours. And the tongue is in the middle of cold gin.
Oh,
Well, boy.
leave it to a 16-year-old fan.
Exactly. I mean,
I wrote to you last night, Eddie, and you told me that you hoped I got through.
Oh, you sent me an email. Okay, cool. I was telling Ace how many emails I've gotten from all over the world about his appearance tonight, since people loved you so much last time you were here. So Shannon did
I'm
write me. I
flattered.
remember you, Shannon. That's right.
Yeah.
Shannon, thank you for that bit of
welcome.
information. It was very helpful.
Do you have a question, or was that it?
Yeah, well, I'm learning guitar, and I just want to tell you, Ace, that you're a big influence, and I'm trying to learn,
You know what you
I know
should
it.
do?
what?
Go back to basics. Get old records and slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
Get a 45 and slow it down to 33 1/3. That's how I used to learn the solos.
Really? Is that how you did it?
Absolutely.
There you go, Shannon.
My dad's a rhythm guitar player. So I don't know how to play solos, but I try.
All
And I
right.
wanted to
Well,
know.
keep practicing, and you never know what'll happen.
I wanted to know. I know you played up here in Poughkeepsie at the Chance, and I wanted to know if you have a solo career afterwards. Do you think you'll come back?
Anything's possible.
All right, Shannon. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. We'll take one more phone call, then we have to take a break, and we'll come back with more. Let's talk to Joe, who's in Westport, Connecticut. What's up, Joe? You're on live with Ace Frehley.
Hey, Ace, how you doing?
What's up, Joe? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. I got 2 fast questions. One is, I was wondering if you're working on a solo record yet, and number 2 is, who's more annoying, Paul or Gene?
Yes, I am working on a solo record. That's a tough one, the second question. It depends on what day and, the time of the month.
All right, with that, we
Period.
With that, we have to take a break. We'll be back with more Kiss music. We've got Kiss prizes, and of course, a member of Kiss here live in the studio. Ace will be hanging out with us, or sitting down with us in front of a microphone for a while longer, for most of the night, actually. So we're going to just have a good time tonight.
Wait. By the way, thank you, Jimmy Genter, Federal Marshal, for the Christmas tree. You're my best buddy. Thank you.
Ace got a free Christmas tree, so there's the thank you. I got a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It's real small. It sits on a table. The pine needles fall off. It's really...
Like anybody really cares.
With that, we'll be back. Saturday Night Rocks, 102.7 WNEW. Ace is taking pictures with me and him, and I'm trying to do a radio show. Go back to your side. He's a bad guest DJ, man. Hold on. We're back. We've got some police officers in the studio who are here to say hello to Ace.
Hello.
WNEW, New York City.
The police are here. I don't know why.
The police are here, but for once it's for a good reason, to say hello to Ace.
Here, just don't frisk me.
Usually the cops can't talk on the air because they get in trouble for being here. So is that the case? Yeah, so we won't say who they are.
No,
what precinct.
We're just kidding.
We're just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, Ace. Let's do a song from Hotter Than Hell. How about Strange Ways? You want to do Strange Ways?
Yeah, that actually is Sebastian Bach's favorite guitar solo.
And you often told this story that it's actually reversed, right? You reversed the guitar in this, and you played it back. You did something with the tape. Was that?
No, not this one. This one I just got wasted and just went out and did it one take. Boom.
This was the first time.
Boom.
This was the first time for Kiss on the West Coast too, if I remember the story goes right, in Los Angeles.
No, I think I recorded this in my. I don't know where.
This album was recorded at the Village Recorders.
I was floating somewhere.
All right. Well, let's do it.
It rocks.
Saturday Night Rocks, the special Merry Kissmas edition. The original Merry Kissmas special is on the air. That is Ace and Snowblind from them. Ace just happens to be in the studio with us live tonight.
Oh, my God.
What are your recollections about that one?
1-1-1-1.
What?
The clock says 1-1-1-1.
1-1, and the seconds were just 1-1-2.
That's 4 aces. Hey. The only thing that beats that is a royal flush. I don't remember. You cheat.
But you want to hear something funny? You'll like this.
Well,
Rory, who answers the phones for us out there and takes requests, that Snowblind was for Dimitri, who's also in Lodi, New Jersey. But Rory doesn't know every Kiss song like I do, and he sometimes doesn't hear right when people ask for something.
Is he aware of the fall of the Roman Empire? Dimitri?
Instead of writing Snowblind, he wrote Snowboy. Snowboy.
Yeah, I saw him last night. I was in a blizzard.
I've had enough from the Animalized CD, Strange Ways, which is from Hotter Than Hell, which is a tune that Ace wrote and plays a blistering solo on. And you were talking that those were in the days that you were afraid to sing with Kiss, so you gave Peter most of your songs to sing, right? The ones that you wrote?
Yeah, I had stage fright.
Until Love Gun and Shock Me, which was the first one. And then,
well, I got shocked into not being afraid.
Right. That spurred you on to sing.
Yeah, I guess it was a positive experience. You know, my dad is the only human being on this planet that I know of. God rest his soul. He died a week before the tour started. That could hold. He could put a plug in the wall, strip the wires, and hold 110 volts with it, and hold it.
Come on.
I swear.
Why would he do this? Just to show he could do it?
Yeah.
Type of thing? Like
he could handle 100.
Having a couple beers, like, look at what I could do.
No, without it, straight as a rail.
Wow. For how long?
As long as you want it.
Really?
I tell you, man, my dad is probably half alien.
That's where you get it from, then. There you go.
Gendel.
There you go.
Can I tell you? My new corporation.
Is that it?
Yep. You'll test it. My bodyguard over there.
There you go. Let's take a couple phone calls and we'll get back to the tunes here. I guess we'll talk to Don. Hey, Don, what's up? You're in Long Island. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Ace?
Oh, wait.
Ace didn't have his headphones on. Hold on one sec, Don.
Sure.
He said, how you doing, Ace?
I feel okay.
He's good, Don.
Hey, remember back when you did the guitar show, the Sam Ash one last year in January?
Yes, I remember it very well.
Yeah, I had you sign my arm. I went straight to the tattoo place and got the autograph tattooed on there.
Oh, it's very flattering. Thank you.
No problem. You've been a
Come
big
out
influence
okay?
in my life. I got two questions for you. One question two-part
A and B, or with a synopsis, or
no, two separate questions completely. Okay. But the first question is, now I know you said you want to do some solo stuff after you're done with Kiss, and I've gotten a hold of a couple of your demos, like Don't Want to Lose You, Sister, Too Far Gone. Now, is there any
what
chance...
do you think of Sister?
Sister was a terrific, terrific song. All
Doesn't
three
it
of those
rock,
were awesome.
especially the way the beat changes?
Isn't it incredible
that is really awesome.
how no matter what you do and record, somehow people get it? It's incredible.
And what is it? I got a really early demo of you. It was like a mixture of, I think, Shot Full of Rock and Sister.
Anything's possible. That was, before we finalized the arrangements.
That was terrific. But I was wondering, are those songs just going to be scrapped, or is there a chance they might show up on a future album?
Sister's definitely going to be on the next record. It might be rearranged or slightly changed or improved. The new improved Sister. Of course, she's older now, and she looks better and has more curves. So what can I say?
Let's talk to Scott, who's in College Point. What's up, Scott? You're on Live with Ace. Scott?
Hello. Eddie, great show, man.
Thank you, man.
Great for all us Ace Rock soldiers. Ace, Merry Christmas to you, Curly. I got a whole room in my apartment dedicated to just you.
Wow. I'm very flattered. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I just wanted to say, I saw you a lot in your solo stuff. You did powerful stuff in the 80s, early 90s. Saw you a lot on your Just for Fun tour. When you come back, you're going to work with a lot of the same musicians like Anton Fig, Sandy Slavin, people like that, or are you just going to take a rest?
Sandy disappeared. I will never work with him again, unfortunately.
What about Richie Scarlett, who we all love?
Richie Scarlett he's like my brother. I'll be working with Richie again. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag.
Here comes another one.
Anton Fig is on his way up to the studio and is going to be here shortly.
Good, that'll be great. We'll get to put some people on and say hello to Anton.
Yeah, I'll be with the old guys.
We'll take one more call and then we'll get back to some more music here.
And maybe some new guys. But I'm not gay.
Everybody wants to know about your plans after Kiss. I don't know if there's anything more to say. Drew, Woodbridge, New Jersey. What's up, Drew?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Ace, it's a pleasure. I've been a fan since the beginning.
Thank you, Drew.
And my pleasure. Thank you.
My name's Draw.
Excuse me?
I drew you, Draw.
Well, actually, if you're speaking to me now, I should call myself Draw, since it's in the present and not in the past.
Exactly.
I got you.
Thank you for that correction.
My pleasure.
My English was incorrect.
I know it's kind of redundant, but my question was, with your plans after Kiss, after the farewell tour, the last show, I had seen you a couple of times at a club called the Birchill in Old Bridge, New Jersey. And, I mean, fantastic shows. I was just wondering if you were going to reform Frehley's Comet, or if it was just going to be, some other type of project, or, if you can elaborate on anything like that.
First of all, it's Frehley's Comet, not Frehley's. Number two, I dropped that name a while back, and it was the Ace Frehley Band.
87.
Number three, after the final Kiss show, yes, I am going to reform my own band, and it'll probably be, some of the guys, maybe not some of the guys, we don't know. But
right now,
it's going to be great.
Right. And right now, the focus is on finishing up with Kiss. That's obviously what the priority is. And then you'll worry about that stuff.
We're talking about Japan, Australia, and Madison Square Garden.
Who the hell voice was that?
I have no idea where that came from. I've been a spirit that has come into my body.
All right, let's play a track from Kiss Alive. Actually, you know what we got to do? We got to take a commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll play a track from Kiss Alive.
It was Groucho Marx, actually.
Was it?
He just came and went.
And Rory, what we need to do is clear the lines. I apologize to people who have been holding, and people are trying to get through, but we need to keep the lines clear at times as well for contests and requests. So, Rory, clear out all the lines, and if you wanted to talk to Ace, you'll get a shot a little bit later on, hopefully. And we'll take a 20th caller right now for a Kiss Farewell Tour T-shirt and an autographed Ace guitar pick. So,
hi, Monique.
Those will be our first prizes.
Hi, Monique.
20th caller right now, 877-692-1027. How is Mo? You should have brought her up.
Well, her birthday is the 9th. 1119.
You should have had it. We should have had all like the whole Frehley
she
family.
was down early, and she had to go back up for a Christmas party. You know how it is when you're.
It's been a while since I've been a kid. All right.
Come on, we're all still kids.
That's
it's
true.
all mental.
20th caller, 877-692-1027. You get our first Kissmas present on the original Merry Kissmas special. Back with more of Ace live in the studio and more Kiss music. And your requests, too. We'll take some requests.
You tell them, Ed.
877-692-1027. We're back with Saturday Night Rocks. This is a special Merry Kissmas edition. It's Eddie Trunk here. Ace is live in the studio. Some more friends have stopped by, hanging out here with us. And we're just having a really good time. Let's just say a lot of people wanted to come in and meet Ace tonight, and some people can't be stopped when they want to come in and meet Ace, and we'll leave it at that.
Guns.
Because they're packing heat. Oh man! So we're going to come back, take some more calls for Ace.
Toy guns.
Toy guns, absolutely. Rory, we got a winner on the first Kissmas present. What's that?
Toy guns.
That's a Gene Simmons impression?
Imitation from the Tom Snyder show, Halloween.
Oh, yes. Eddie in Staten Island, congratulations. He won our first Kissmas present, which was the Kiss Farewell Tour T-shirt and also a Ace guitar pick. And we'll throw in a Saturday Night Rocks guitar pick as well and some other stuff in there for you. So congratulations, Eddie.
Which Ace guitar pick?
The ones that fell out of your wallet. You told me to keep.
Fell in my wallet.
Yeah.
I walked in.
Yeah, exactly. Ace opened his wallet to show me something. About 20 picks fell on the ground. He goes, keep them.
Keep them.
I said, oh, they're good presents. We've got a Kiss PC game. We got a lunchbox. We've got some posters from the pay-per-view. We've got some pretty cool stuff that we'll give away throughout the course of the night. But, of course, tonight is also about playing Kiss music, and we're going to play something from what many people still believe is the definitive Kiss record, one of the most influential records of all time. Many people feel one of the greatest live albums of all time. The first Kiss live album, Kiss Alive. Ace, any recollections before we go into watching you from this?
Kiss Alive?
Kiss Alive. Which the story goes, and Eddie Kramer has said many times, is not really completely live, but it's still a great record.
Yeah, but the essence is there.
Right.
The ultra. I couldn't resist.
And the funny thing is everybody thinks this record was recorded in Cobo Hall, which partially it was, but Wildwood, New Jersey, Eddie Kramer told me a lot of the tracks were taken from for this, too.
Eddie knows better than me. He was the producer.
Right, so let's
Bottom line is, I was playing guitar. That's all I know.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's Ace.
It rocks, though.
Kiss Alive, watching you. This is the original Merry Kissmas special on Saturday Night Rocks, 102.7 WNEW. Eddie Trunk here. That is, well, it's all Kiss tonight. That's from Love Gun, one of my favorites, I Stole Your Love, which you guys did on the reunion tour from time to time, right, Ace?
Correct.
Correct. It was an encore, actually, if I remember correctly.
Possibly.
King of the Mountain from Asylum. Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, one of my favorite Ace solos on that from Rock and Roll Over, which was recorded in a theater somewhere in New York. Do you remember the recording?
Wait. Let's backtrack. Say theater again.
Theater. You want that? Is that the one you want? Or theater? I say theater. But I know people say theater.
Theater.
What is it?
Theater.
Theater. I said it. Theater. That's what I said.
Theater.
You're saying it should be theater?
No, you use 3 syllables. It should be 2.
So how is it?
Theater.
That's what I said. Theater.
No, you had something somewhere in between.
Theater.
Yeah,
theater.
You were something.
What about people that say theater?
Well, we don't even talk that. So yeah, and you're talking about the theater in the round. We did Rock and Roll Over.
Right, which great sounding record.
Edwin Kramer.
That's great.
I call him Eddie Clea. If you're listening, Eddie, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
And we also had Into the Void from Psycho Circus, Ace's contribution to that record.
Written also by Carl Cochran.
Our good buddy Carl.
My favorite bass player, and I'm sure you're listening. If you're not, you missed out, but you're still great.
So Into the Void was one that you were doing for a while. I actually did the whole reunion tour. You did that song. And
No, we actually changed it from Into the Void, and we went to 2000 Man towards the end of the tour.
God forbid you should do both.
Well,
that's me talking.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to get too much applause. You know how it is.
From the Revenge CD, we did Spit by Request, and we started way back there with Watching You from Kiss Alive,
Great
a
song.
classic, which is still in the set to this day.
It is?
Yeah, it
That's
was.
news to me.
It wasn't last time?
No.
It was on one of the reunions,
Not
like
the last
circus.
one.
Not the
Wake
farewell?
up, Eddie. Wake up out of the dream.
I can't keep
Stop smoking what you're smoking, and, bake cookies with your girlfriend, not
and
your
stop
wife.
saying theater wrong.
Hey, it wasn't me. Hey, you know what I say wrong?
What?
Toronto. How do you say it properly?
Toronto.
That's a Canadian saying it.
Yes.
Toronto. That's not right? Toronto isn't right?
Toronto.
Toronto.
This is a Canadian. All right,
Do it
Canadian
again.
saying Toronto.
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 Now you say it the way you say it.
Toronto.
There we go.
See, Ace and I say it the same way.
Yeah, like Tonto. I was saying it when she's correcting me, and then the Lone Ranger and Tonto came on TV. It was like so bizarre. Stuff like that happens all the time to me.
All right, let's take a couple more phone calls here real quick for Ace, because there's obviously a lot of people that want to say hello, and we'll let them get on the air here real quick, and then we'll take a break and come back with more music and more requests and more giveaways as we continue with the original Merry Kissmas special. Let's see here who's been waiting the longest to talk to Ace. Let's talk to Andy.
Andy's gang.
Andy on Long Island. Andy, what's happening?
Happy holidays, guys.
Same
Ace,
to
how
you.
you doing, buddy?
Andy.
I got a question and I got a comment. First off, Ace, I've loved everything you've ever put out, the band and obviously solo as far as yourself goes. Now, as far as Trouble Walking, okay, Remember Me, as far as I'm concerned, the best song you ever did, obviously live. Was it ever recorded on record? And how did the song come about? As far as my comment...
It was on the album.
It was on Trouble Walking.
No, I understand that. It's the live version.
You mean the applause that comes up at the end of the song?
Andy, you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
That was recorded in the studio. We added the audience.
You got to be kidding me. Are you serious, Ace? Because I always found it bizarre that...
See, I can't lie.
No,
like the other guys.
I appreciate your honesty, Ace. I always thought that song was recorded live at some bar or something, and I'm like, where is the original track?
Remulac.
Right.
I made a joke. I said recorded live in Remulac. Remulac doesn't exist in France.
Son of a gun, and I thought I knew everything
Son
about
of a
Kiss
gun.
and Ace.
I got some great guns, but we don't want to talk about
as
that.
far as my comment, okay, I've seen a lot of shows.
Thank you.
And Trenton, New Jersey, I had the privilege of sitting front row with my beautiful girl, Tony.
Tony,
you went out of your way.
I remember. She had blonde hair?
No, she was a brunette. The best looking girl in the front row.
Oh, God.
Hey, she went out of your way to make sure that she got a pick. Because after numerous times of her trying to catch
my
him...
pick?
I'm sorry?
What? No,
He
God.
said you went out of your way to get her a
way.
pick. Which was... You're a true gentleman, Ace. But I'll tell you something. I didn't get one. I would love one. I would also love a game. Okay, if you can...
If you can make it down here, I'll give you one.
Don't start inviting people down. We can't have them in the studio.
I'm in Bensonhurst right now. I can get there in about 20 minutes.
You can't come into the studio. We can't have you in the studio.
If you get here, I'll send somebody down with a guitar pick.
Ace,
You have
listen,
my word
I
on that.
know you will make your way to the Garden. Personally, on behalf of every fan in the New York tri-state area, we want to see either Yankee Stadium or Shea Stadium.
All right,
wasn't that Subway Series rocking? And I'm a Bronx boy. I knew the Yankees were going to take it.
Oh, now you're killing me because I'm a Met fan, so we don't want to start talking about
that's
base.
your F problem.
Oh boy! Let's
Thank
get
you.
let's
Good
get
call.
another call here for Ace. Here's a popular question, but I don't know if Ace knows the answer to this, but we'll see. Chris in Long Island, you're on live with Ace Frehley.
Hey, Ace.
Hey, rocker.
When are you guys going to release a live 4?
I don't know, man. It's like, one of those things like you got to wait for.
What is it, a problem with the record company?
Yeah. negotiations, contracts, attorneys, paperwork, red tape, the government, taxation.
Is this Gene talking? Is it Gene talking? Because that's
I'm being possessed tonight.
But you know what's funny about that is that we asked Gene that question on this show a few months ago, and that's what he said. Oh, Chris, that's about as best of an answer as you're going to get tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Ace.
All right,
Happy
man.
holidays.
Take care.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye. That's funny because that's what he said. Something about the record company and problems and this and that. So
Indeed.
to punctuate that.
All right, let's get one more call here, and then we'll go to another song. Alan, who's in Mahwah, New Jersey. What's up, Alan?
Hey, Ace. How you doing?
Hey, Alan.
Good to talk to you. First off, let me say thank you so much for all the years of great Kiss music. I'm a fan from way back, and you're pretty much the reason that I play guitar today. So.
Thank you. I've heard that a lot, and it's a good feeling.
Great. One question I had about the Madison Square Garden shows.
Which ones? Upcoming or previous?
Upcoming. I'm sorry. Upcoming. Do you think that Kiss will pull out some of the old, obscure songs from the Kiss catalog, or you think you'll pretty much stick to the basic set list for that?
I think the sky's the limit on that show. I have no idea what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a really wild night. We're probably going to do 2, possibly 3 shows, and anything can happen.
All right, Alan, we'll just have to wait and see. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Thank you for your call.
Yeah, thanks. I see Anton walking around out there. Anton, come in here.
The Figmeister.
Where I just see his. There he is.
He's got a beret
Anton
on.
Fig I saw the beret
Back
walking
from
by.
South Africa with a tan.
Yeah, you are very tan.
Say hello, Fig.
Hello, Fig.
Anton Fig.
He says hello, Fig.
Legendary drummer, and of course,
he drinks the last of the Cristal.
The David Letterman Band live in the
Jesus
studio.
Murphy.
How are you, Anton? Grab a mic so people can hear you.
What?
I guess they can hear. I said grab a microphone so people can hear you.
Wanting you to talk.
How are you?
Hello.
Oh, now I got to turn your mic on. How's things? Okay.
Great.
You're on vacation. You're a little tan. Ace said you went away. You were tan.
I'm away. Yeah, and I'm back.
Now you're back.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
South
that.
Africa. His point of origin.
I didn't even know.
Mine was Jindal.
He's South Africa. Was the show on repeats now, or did they have a fill-in for it?
No, we were on repeats a few weeks ago. That's when I went away.
Okay. Yeah. Last time I saw you actually was I went to a taping of the show about a year ago. I actually saw you.
Taping. What? That sounds so strange.
Look who's talking. All right, we got to take a quick break.
Look who's talking.
About being strange.
How strange he looks.
It's easy for you to say.
It's
Don't
gonna
make me laugh. My lips are chapped.
Ace Frehley, Anton Fig just walked into the studio, and we're continuing with the Merry Kissmas special. We'll play some tunes that Anton played drums on, too, because Anton's been on a couple Kiss records, and we'll talk about that. And more questions and more giveaways all coming up next on this special edition of Saturday Night Rocks. 102.7 WNEW. This is 102.7 WNEW, New York City, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. It is midnight, and I'm Eddie Trunk, and this is a special edition of Saturday Night Rocks. The original Merry Kissmas special is half over, which is great news because we have at least 2 hours left to go. And we got a ton of people on the phone line that want to talk to Ace. We now have Anton Fig live in the studio with us. Anton played on some Kiss records, as everyone knows, as well as Ace's solo album, several of Ace's solo albums. And Anton's making his... Anton, get in here a minute. Anton, of course, everybody knows from the David Letterman Band as well. You got to make a phone call? Oh, we have to... Before we go into this song, since Ace is in the can or wherever he went, we're going to play something from the first record you did with him, I guess, which is his Kiss solo album, right?
That's my favorite. Of all the records I've done, that's probably my favorite record.
Is it really?
I really love it.
How much stuff did you do in America prior to this record? You were in a band called Spider, right?
Right, and that was... We hadn't recorded a record at that stage. it was like a little bit later.
Right.
You know, we were still trying to get signed and all that. But I'd done a record with Link Ray. You know, the guitarist.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing. And he's actually the reason, Pete Townsend said that's the reason that he picked up the guitar was because of Link Ray.
Really?
He's like this fantastic American Indian, half Southern kind of guy. He had the song Rumble in the 50s that was
right
influential. But anyway, I played with Link and I was playing with Robert Gordon.
And how did you originally hook up with Ace and get to know him and get to be on this record?
In the band with the Spider Band, which was called Siren at that time. We were auditioning bass players, and we auditioned this bass player, Larry Russell, who we didn't end up using in the band, but he said to me, I got this friend Ace, and he's looking for a drummer for his solo band, a solo record. And so he recommended me.
Oh, that's cool.
But also, turned out like Eddie Kramer. I know Eddie Kramer. He's a South African guy, and I know him from Hendrix and Zeppelin and stuff. And he was going to recommend me as well. But so I ended up going up to do some demos with Ace.
Wow. Well, it's great stuff. Everybody, besides the guitar playing on the record, always talks about the drum playing on this record, too. It's
I'm
it's
really
amazing stuff.
very proud of it. I mean, it really is probably my favorite record that I've ever done.
You remember a lot about recording it because it's 22 years now. Do you remember the sessions fairly well?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
And was it a couple days that you banged this out? One day? Do you remember?
Well, we went up to the Colgate Mansion in Connecticut, and it was recorded with a remote truck outside.
Right.
The drums were on the stairwell of this big room, big house.
Uh-huh.
And the guitar amps were like in the dining room or somewhere, and it was just me and Ace. Ace was sitting next to me. And we just recorded it, drums and rhythm guitar.
Wow.
And then overdubbed everything afterwards.
Cool. Did you have something else?
Well, there were a couple of sessions that were done, and there was a studio at the top of Radio City. There was a studio, we did Rip It Out there and New York Groove there.
Mm-hmm.
And one other song, I don't remember which one it was, but the bulk of the record was done in 10 days at the Colgate Mansion.
All right, let's play something from it right now. This is Wiped Out. Anton Fig is live in the studio. And
let
of
me
course,
tell you about Wiped Out.
What's that?
Can I talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Ace was playing this riff, and I sort of played it one way, and then I turned it around and played it another way, and he said, let's work on it, let's make a song out of it.
Ace is busy taking pictures while Anton's talking about his record.
And then we got like
Anton knows more about your record than you do, man.
then we got a rhythm track. Then he said, like, come, try and help with the words. Wiped out.
Wiped out.
Is that 3/5?
What?
What's the rhythm? 3/5?
What's the rhythm?
Yeah, it goes like from like 4/4 to like a triplet feel.
Triplet.
I think. And then he said, like, write some words, try and get some things going, and it was just sort of...
most drummers wouldn't be able to make the transition to that.
Right.
Just describing a typical night out at that time.
You must hear it.
Let's play it, right?
Okay.
Let's play it.
I've heard it for a long time. It'd be great.
Here's Wiped Out, Saturday Night Rocks, 102.7 WNEW. Saturday Night Rocks, 102.7 WNEW, the special Merry Kissmas edition.
Anton, you got my headphones.
Hey, Rory, get some headphones for Anton if you get a chance, please. That is Hard Times from Kiss Dynasty, featuring a great solo from Ace. That's the one we were talking about earlier that was reversed. And also the drumming, as everybody knows, of another guest in the studio here, Anton Fig. Ace, you were telling me stories about that, about the recording Hard Times, about blowing the whistle and all that stuff. That was the one we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
And that's actually the same solo, just doubled?
Yeah, the beginning of the second half of the solo is the beginning of the solo backwards.
Anton,
it sounds so simple, but
it's what it is.
Exactly. That's very well put.
Anton, now it's basic. Everybody knows it's basically common knowledge that's you on drums on that track. How did you end up starting to work with Kiss around that time period?
Well, first of all, I can't affirm or deny, but some of the rumors have some basis, in fact.
Okay.
But
Anton's a politician over here.
No, because I played with Ace, and like we got on so well together, and there was a time when Peter hurt his arm and they had the schedule, and so I filled in a little bit.
There's a car accident or something, if I remember, that Peter was in at the time, I think.
I don't remember exactly, but it was because of me playing with Ace.
Right.
Foreplay.
What?
Foreplay.
Before we did
politics.
Before we played Hard
Did you
Times.
hear about the Japanese?
No.
They sent like $100 million worth of Viagra to this country. You know why? Well, it was a couple of weeks ago. You know, it's available in the Times, but because we couldn't get an election. They thought, we had a problem with that, and then we did, but they can't say certain letters. I don't know.
I got you. And from Ace's. Anton, this show's been on the air a couple of years now. It's only when we have Ace in here do we have this kind of insanity. I'll tell you, it's unbelievable.
That's good.
It's good. It's
a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Indeed.
And before that, from Ace's solo album, we had Wiped Out, which Anton did officially play drums on, of course.
I mean, what do you call that timing? You're going from 4/4 to what?
It's a triplet field. It goes from ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, to da-da-da-da-da. It's hard to explain, but it's easy to play.
We're getting all musician talk here. You guys want to take a couple phone calls? How about we take a few more calls before we go back to the music?
Someone might want to talk to the Figmeister.
Right. Anton Fig is here. If you have a question for him, feel free to call in as well. Anton, you said you're working on a record, right? You got a record coming out?
That's the other thing. I have Aces playing on one of the songs. I have different people on each song.
Very tragic. Only one song, very tragic.
But it's classic.
It's classic.
But it's classic. Nice. When I played it back then, we went classic Ace.
Classic Ace.
And it is. And I'm very proud to have him there.
When will it be out?
I don't know, maybe in a few more months. I'm still working.
All right, cool. Let's
on the Viagra,
Hey, Joe from Patterson, New Jersey. Joe, you're on live. How you doing, man? Joe.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, turn your radio down. You're on live.
What you
Got
doing?
it. Ace, how you doing?
Ace, Joe wants to know how you're doing. We've established that Ace is fine.
Good.
What's your question,
I got
Joe?
a couple questions for Ace. I just wanted to ask him what was his favorite song to play live
Deuce.
in concert.
Deuce was the answer.
Deuce was the answer. And some of his
Do you play tennis?
What?
Do you play tennis?
Joe, do you play tennis?
Joe.
I play tennis? No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
I thought you were saying
it's also a
tennis,
tennis
that's my last
term,
name.
but, I there's not really a correlation there. But in any event, what's your second question?
The second question was some of your influences. Who influenced you to start playing the guitar?
James Marshall Hendricks, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, to name a few.
Some good company there, no doubt. Let's talk to James, who's in Manhattan. What's up, James?
Hey, Eddie, Ace, how you doing, man?
How are you, man?
Good. Actually, I've been a Kiss fan since like 1987 when my cousin Nick Falcone, who's also an old friend of Eddie's, coincidentally, got me into the Crazy Nights album. And then I went back to the original albums where you worked on, and I just got to say, I love your style. I think you are hands down the greatest lead guitarist ever. And I also love your products. I just bought your Epiphone in black, and it rocks.
Who's he talking to?
To you. I don't have a black Epiphone.
I do?
I didn't make any records.
Okay.
I'm talking to you, Ace.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm saying I bought your Epiphone, and I love it.
Oh, thank you.
But I actually had a question for you. I recently came across a copy of Psycho Circus with one of your songs called In Your Face on it, and I love that song. I think it rocks. And it's much better than some of the other material on
the Japanese version.
Right. I was just wondering why that song didn't make the American version, because I think it's one of the best
Gene
songs.
and ask them that
All right,
effing question.
I figured it was a Paul or Gene issue because the song seems to be like about
you.
you.
I have two songs on the record, so
Right.
I only got one in the States and two in Japan.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually have that song. I actually have that song, and we'll play it next. Okay.
I think you should, Eddie, you should spin that up.
Okay,
Great song.
this is a song that they didn't want to put me on because they didn't want me to have two songs.
Anything else about the recording of this? Was there any other stories behind it before we play it?
Well, Gene wrote it and I sang it.
And it's called In Your Face.
The rest is history.
All right, let's do it right now. This is I guess you could say an outtake from the Psycho Circus CD.
Intake in Japan.
Intake in Japan.
In U.S.
It's called In Your Face from the Psycho Circus Sessions with Ace on lead vocals. And it's on the Merry Kissmas special. Back with more with Ace. Bathroom at Gilby Clark's house. It's Eric Singer. What's up, man?
Hey, Eddie. How you doing, man?
Good. You're on live here on NEW with Ace and Anton Fig.
Great. I just talked to Ace for a few minutes. It was great to hear his voice. He sounds great. Good to hear your voice. And tell Anton I said, hey, what's up?
Well, you just did, because he's here and he heard you.
How are you, man?
Oh, cool.
You got to get up on the mic,
Happy
Anton.
holidays.
Anton, eat the mic.
You got to get up.
Turn down your radio. Happy holidays, man.
Hey, happy holidays to you. There you go. There's that familiar accent.
There you go. So how you doing, Eric? What have you been up to these days?
I had been on tour with Alice Cooper all with most of the last half of this year, and we finished about 6 weeks ago. So I've been home just chilling out, playing around town here in L.A., and relaxing for the holidays.
Did I see the last show, Halloween?
Yeah, that was the last show. Ace came to the last show. We played at Roseland in New York.
I heard that was a great show, actually.
Rock, man.
Yeah, I heard it was.
Alice, man, he still got it. God bless him.
You've played with Alice before, right, Eric?
Yeah, right. Back before I played in Kiss, I played with Alice for a couple tours.
Right. So,
go
ahead. No, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say, then I started playing with Kiss for a while.
So, you got any projects lined up that you can tell us about that are coming up, or you're just kind of hanging out waiting to see what breaks next?
Just chilling out, waiting for the new year and see what turns up. Exactly, like I always do. One day at a time. That's the way I've always kind of chose. I guess I shouldn't say chose to live our life. It's just kind of the way it's ended up.
Right. We know you look like you're in a.
He walks. When you walk through his house, you knock over the knickknacks and they crack. So he's just like waiting for those penguins to drop. Did
you break stuff at Eric Singer's house, Ace?
I wrecked his house.
Of course.
What happened, Eric?
The Gucci thing and the Ming bars.
Yeah, because I have all Oriental furniture. Ace breaks everything. Ace is like walking catastrophe. Hey, look how the guy walks. There you go.
My boots were like too big. They were like wrong size. It was a rockin' night.
Well, Eric, we don't want to keep you because I know you're at a party and he's in the bathroom so he can hear us and he's tying up the bathroom.
There's people knocking on the door going, I got to pee.
Right, exactly.
They think I'm in here doing blow.
And you are, but we don't want to talk about that.
That's right.
Eric, you want to pick a song to play? Anything? Any Kiss tune?
Yeah, I want to. My favorite. I want to pick my favorite Ace guitar solo of all time, "Strange Ways."
We actually played it already tonight.
Oh, that's my favorite solo. Play it again.
Should we play it again?
Why not? I mean, some people might have just tuned in.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry.
You're not the only one.
Or play Rocket Ride.
Your second favorite solo.
Play Rocket Ride.
Rocket Ride. There we go.
Rocket Ride.
His second favorite's Rocket Ride. We didn't play that yet, so we can do that one for you.
Thank you, Eric. That's a very nice sentiment, and you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy
somebody's
New Year.
knocking on the door again. Here you go.
I told you they got
anybody you can put on the radio. Anybody cool?
Let me see. I'll open the door and see who it is. Oh, it's just.
I hear voices.
There you go. Hey, you want me to put Gilby on here?
Gilby,
come here.
Yeah, put Gilby on.
I'm live on the radio, WNEW, with Ed Trunk and Ace.
No way.
Gilby.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Hey.
We're hanging out. We're having a Kissmas party.
No way.
Yeah, if you would have invited us to your Christmas party, we'd be out there.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, you're a little late, but you can catch a fight and it'll still be happening.
8 million people are listening to you. You have anything relevant to say?
I don't know if Eric told you, but we have snow in our front yard.
Do you really?
Yes, in California we have snow in our front yard right now.
Wow, that's wild.
What are you on?
we had to bring it in though.
UPS.
Oh, you bought it in?
Yeah, we had to bring it in. It's a good
UPS.
for all of us.
Ace said you had it delivered by UPS.
Exactly. Yeah, we ordered it on Thursday. It came today.
Hey, Gilby, you got a new band or something I read about, right?
I have a new project going on.
And if I'm not mistaken, I can't say the name of the band on the radio, right?
You can't say the end of the name. It's the Star Bleepers.
Star Effers. It's the Star Effers, right?
Exactly.
And I heard you got a deal and you're set and you're ready to go with this, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're working on the songs right now. We're going to start recording it in February.
Excellent. Well, good luck with it.
It's good fun. All the guys are great. We're having a really good time with it.
Cool. Well, we need some good, kick-ass rock and roll coming out.
Have fun.
Good. Because Ace is giving it up for all of us right now, right? Be gentle, Ace.
Hey, Gilby, next time you're back on the East Coast, get in touch, all right?
You know I will.
All right, bud.
Okay, take care. You guys
enjoy the party.
Eric?
I think we're done with Eric.
Hey, Gilby, I'll be out there in February for the Malibu Film Festival.
All right, cool. Give me a shout when you guys are out here. Ed, great to hear you. Anton, how you take care of yourself?
How are you, man? Yeah, cool.
You all have a great Merry Christmas.
All right, man.
And stay warm.
Yeah, you do the same with that snow out there.
All right, great. Tell everybody we said Merry Christmas.
You got it. Hey, Gilby,
What?
Gilby, what's your favorite Kiss song?
Sorry, what?
What's your favorite Kiss song?
Gilby, what's your favorite Kiss song? That's my favorite. Nothing to Lose. Nothing to Lose.
We played that one already. Second favorite.
He likes the MTV version.
Oh, okay. The acoustic.
Yeah, the acoustic MTV version.
All right, cool.
The one that I sing.
All right, you got it, Eric.
All right, great. You guys take care, man.
Okay, brother.
We'll see you.
Ace, we'll speak at you
I'll
later.
be out in February. I'll see you, Eric.
Ciao.
All right, bye-bye.
You got it.
It sounds like somebody was getting choked or something in the background.
Sadomasochist.
All right.
Mother effers.
Let's do Rocket Ride right now by request from Eric Singer, and then we'll do the Unplugged, Nothing to Lose. On the Merry Kissmas, the original Merry Kissmas, Saturday Night Rocks, Ace is here, Anton Fig is here.
Cross country.
More of your calls. Yeah, we're bi-coastal here. All right. That's from the Kiss Unplugged reunion there.
Eric Singer on drums.
And partial lead vocals, Nothing to Lose from Kiss Unplugged, the reuniting of Ace and Peter with the bands. Whose decision was it to do that song with the six of you guys? Do you remember? You don't.
It just happened. It was like
Nothing.
karma.
Yeah.
Good karma.
Yeah, definitely.
It led to the reunion.
Absolutely.
It was the catalyst.
And before that, we had Rocket Ride from Kiss Alive 2 with Ace on guitar, and we're still trying to figure out if that was Peter on drums or not.
I think it was.
I think it was too.
Yeah,
I think it was too.
I mean, Peter's a great drummer. So
Absolutely.
I think it was Peter.
The ending of that is very, very happening.
Tasty.
And that was Gilby Clark's request, or Eric Singer's request, whoever it was that checked in with us a few minutes ago from the West Coast. And Anton Fig is also here, still with us live in the studio. We're just hanging out.
Say something in South African.
Ik kan me niet verstaan me.
Anton Fig is the only drummer I know that understands Morse code.
Do you really?
Yeah, I went to the Navy. You had to go after school right to the Navy before you did anything. So I learned typing and Morse code. Yeah.
This is true.
But, it's kind of outdated now. It's a little slow.
Yeah. Now everything's digital. Morse code. Who's Morse?
You can't have much of a career in Morse code anymore.
No, Morse code. That's like my brother playing classical guitar. How many people buy classical guitar?
Have you played Rip It Out yet?
Yeah, we did actually. We played it earlier. We played Snowblinds and we played Wiped Out.
Wait, no, it's singular.
Singular?
You said Snowblinds.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Did I really?
Yes.
Sorry. You guys are like diction specialists tonight. What do we talk about? Theater and Toronto and all these?
No, Torrentino.
No. Absolutely.
Toronto.
Somebody's phone's ringing. We're going to take a break. We'll come back more with Ace and Anton Fig. That's what Ace's cell phone sounds like.
And the number is, I can't make it out, but I'll talk to you.
All right, we're going to let Ace take his call. We'll be back with more Saturday Night Rocks, the original Merry Christmas special is on the air. All right, we're back with Saturday Night Rocks, 102.7 WNEW and Infinity Broadcasting Station. It's Eddie Trunk. This is the original Merry Kissmas special. Very special tonight with Ace Frehley live in the studio and Anton Fig dropping by as well. Just hanging out, enjoying the holiday vibe, playing
Until
some Kiss
the figs
tunes.
drop into prunes. It happens.
We were just talking off air about this story that came out during the farewell tour when you almost didn't make a show and they had Tommy Thayer ready to play for you. So tell the story about how that happened and what went down.
Well, I was detained because the limousine driver couldn't find my house. And finally, by the time I got to the airport, I missed my flight, so I had to take a later flight. And, I called ahead and I said, have a helicopter waiting for me because that's the only way I'm going to make it to the show if you want me to perform with you guys. So I physically got off the plane. There was a greeter there. They took me up 3 flights. I got off the plane. Within 5 minutes, I was in a helicopter. I landed in the parking lot of the show, which was... what venue? Something Meadows.
Irvine Meadows?
Irvine Meadows. Thank you very much, Ed. And I had 45 minutes to put my makeup on and costume, and I usually take 2 hours, but I did it in 45 minutes, and they had Tommy Thayer all made up, ready to go if I couldn't do it. And
so you saw Tommy in your costume
Tommy
and
was
makeup?
sitting there all made up, ready to go, and God bless Tommy. He knows every one of my guitar solos, note for note. In fact, he helped me out in the beginning. When we started the reunion tour in '96, he was teaching me my solos because I had forgotten them. God bless him.
Right.
But to make a long story short, Tommy was in makeup in my costume. If I wasn't able to get together in 45 minutes, I got together in 45 minutes. They were calling me. As I was running out to the stage, I was putting on my wristbands and looking for my guitar pick and checking my hair and making sure my lipstick was okay. And next thing I know, I was going up, and we got announced, and I did a great show from what I understand. And Gene, at the end of the show, looked at me, and he goes, how did you do it? I go, I'm a pro. What else can I say?
And for those of you who don't know who Tommy Thayer is, Tommy is Kiss's tour manager, and he's also a guitar player. He used to be in an 80s band called Black and Blue, and now he's a tour manager for Kiss. So for those of you wondering who Tommy is, that's who he is.
Hell of a guy.
Yeah, good guy. And he really is he's a good guitar player, too, and he actually used to play in a Kiss tribute band.
As me.
As you. So, of course, he would know all the songs. So, but that would be really weird because you guys did a show once already
and
without...
I punched him out towards the end of the tour. I feel really bad.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why?
Frustration.
You punched Tommy there. You did a show also...
Feels good afterwards, though, doesn't it?
You did a show...
I feel so bad about it.
Really? We should call him. We're calling everybody else.
I apologize to him. What are you going to do? He was never in a street fight before, so it was like a shock.
You also did a show once without...
I got knocked out when I was 13, so
Right. You did a show with Peter, without Peter, one of these reunion shows too, right? One time Peter didn't make...
Well, he
was hurt
because he had carpal tunnel syndrome. It was prior to his operation.
Right.
So his drum tech filled in. Luckily, it was a secondary market, and there was only 6,000 people. But it was a sold-out show.
What was that like, playing with a different drummer that one night?
Well, Eddie knew the songs very well because, he watched, and he's actually a very good drummer himself.
Right.
But you know what he did? He played so hard the first half of the show, he wasn't in shape, even though, he's a lot younger than Peter. And, the second half of the show... all of a sudden started slowing down big time.
Really? He ran out of steam?
And this guy's in his 20s.
Wow.
And he gained a lot of respect for Peter. He goes, I don't know how you do a 2-hour show.
I saw him play at the
You got to get on the mic, Anton. We can't hear you.
I saw him play at the...
I told you to eat the mic, mother.
Okay. Salt, pepper. No, Peter sounded fantastic. I really thought he sounded great.
Which show did you see?
I was in New Jersey at the
Meadowlands.
Yeah.
I did too. I thought Peter played really well on this last tour. He was hitting hard. He played really well. And I was talking to him after one of the shows. I think it was that New Jersey show, and he was showing me his wrists and the problems he was having, and telling me about grafting the bone and all this stuff that he had to do. And he was like, "Man," he goes, "I don't know how I'm going to make it through the rest of the shows, but obviously he did." So,
God, I don't know how he did it, man, but he did it, and God bless him, because we couldn't have done it without him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do something from a lot of people's favorite Kiss record, the third one, Dressed to Kill. I was going to ask Ace if he had any favorites on this one. You want me to read you some of the tracks? Room Service.
You know I don't remember.
That's why I said that. I've known you for too long, man. I go back with Ace about 15 years now, so I'm thinking ahead of time.
I'm supposed to know what songs are on it.
But you know what, Ace? I've had so many artists in here over the last couple of years, and you're not the only one that's like that. A lot of them don't even listen to their old stuff or don't go back, and they have no idea. But to fans, that's odd, because to a fan, this record, they live with it, you know, and they...
No, because when people are playing, then they play, they do the stuff, and then they go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And some people listen to it, and then they, have a whole aura around that song that they've been listening to.
Some people worship like one album, two albums.
But, you
some people, like a lot of guitar players have said to me, a live one is their rock and roll Bible.
Right.
That's how they learned how to play guitar, with a live one. What that means, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, but it is true. Almost, I'd say 99% of groups I've had in here all say the same thing. When they finish a record, they move on to the next, and they kind of put it behind them. And to the fan, that's so odd, because they live and breathe these records, but most of the artists don't go back and listen to them.
You kind of have to clear your head and move forward.
Right.
It's kind of like breaking up with a girlfriend, and you get a new girlfriend, and, you got to forget about the old one.
Let me read you the songs. Well, actually,
I'm not talking to you.
Ace, Getaway is on here. You wrote Getaway, right?
Yeah.
That's one of your early compositions.
I think Peter sang that.
Yep, he did, but you wrote it, if I'm not mistaken.
And Peter did a great vocal.
You did write it, right? Yep.
Yes,
Solo writing credit. I'm looking at it. So let's do that one, and then maybe we'll do one of my favorites from Dressed to Kill. Here's Ace's Getaway with Peter on vocals again.
This is the one with that crazy solo.
I don't know. Maybe it's this one. Let's listen to it. Here it is. Sound familiar, Ace?
Not really.
Great tune from Kiss Alive, the all-time classic record, Come On and Love Me.
Yes,
Ace was
remember it well.
Ace was just jamming to that himself. Remember what a great tune that is. And I was talking to Ace, and I told him, you've got to tell Gene and Paul that you guys got to do songs like that on the last show. You got to. And you know what a great record?
Got to.
A great record is Rock and Roll Over, that the only thing that gets played from is Calling Dr. Love, but there's great stuff on that record, too. Making Love, I Want You, all that stuff. Great stuff. So Ace is live in the studio, still hanging out. Anton Fig is here as well. And we're just having a great time celebrating the holidays, celebrating the Merry Kissmas special. And
very festive.
Very festive. We had 100,000 Years from the first album, the studio version.
Now we're going into 2001.
Exactly. And we did Getaway, which is a song Ace wrote that's on Dressed to Kill, the third ever Kiss album.
Sung by Peter Criss.
And that song is 25 years old.
What's the plurals?
Do you have any recollection of writing that?
He said Peter's Criss.
I did not.
Yes, he did.
I did not.
Come on.
Ace's Frehley's. Do you have any any stories behind writing Getaway? That's one of your earliest tunes that you wrote with Kiss.
Yeah. It was probably one of those days they were me and I wanted to get away.
That was the inspiration. All right, Ace came over here and he could not believe that on our call board here we've got about a dozen people, and almost all of them have been on hold for over an hour just to talk to you.
And I yelled at you.
And he yelled at me. He's like, you got to get these people on the air.
How dare you let them wait over an hour?
Let's see who's waiting the longest, and we'll go to them first. There's a lot of hour and 15, so we'll start with Mike, who's in Stamford, Connecticut. I hope you guys have good questions waiting over an hour and 15 to talk to Ace. What's up, Mike? Mike, he fell asleep.
He fell asleep.
Mike, turn your radio down. You're on live with Ace Frehley. Mike.
Yeah.
You're on, finally.
Hey, Ace,
let Mikey boy try it. You try the cereal.
Let Mikey try it. Mike, don't freeze up now. You're on live. What's your question?
Are you awake?
Get some quarters.
Ace.
Do a couple lines.
Yeah, you're here. You got it. You're on live with Ace. Fire away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You know, like when
Hey,
you
Ace, how you
drive,
doing?
just follow the lines, the
Ace,
double lines, and then you'll know you're going straight.
Ace, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Okay, pretty good, man. The first time I seen you was down in Nassau Coliseum in Blue Oyster Cult, Leslie West. And
Okay.
Do we have a question, though, Mike? Because we got a million people, not to be rude, but we got a million people with those stories, so we want to try to get some
Do you have a
questions.
question, my friend?
Yeah. I was wondering how'd you guys like playing Mohegan Sun?
Oh, rock, man. It was like an Indian casino, and I'm part Cherokee, so, you know, it was a good vibe.
More importantly, how'd you do in the casino after the show?
I didn't gamble after, but prior to the show, I hit a jackpot, and I had to leave, but I said, you know, give it to my father-in-law.
Like I said earlier in the show, I've gambled with Ace, and it's quite a treat. It's a lot of fun. Josephine on Staten Island. Josephine, how are you?
Good morning, Ace.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen,
It is officially the morning.
Oh, well, okay. I saw you at the Continental. You guys rocked. Ace's solo kicked butt. I love you, man. And I just want to know, is it true you're going to be touring with Cheap Trick instead of Ted Nugent and Skid Row?
You know, originally we wanted Cheap Trick instead of Ted Nugent, but they declined.
Oh. But any box sets you guys going to come out with in the future?
Box set, a Kiss box set. Any plans for a Kiss box set?
Box set.
Box set of CDs, like, you know, a collection. Box set.
Yeah, I'm a little hard of hearing because I've been playing loud rock and roll for 25 years. I need one of those. What are those hearing aids?
You're shortchanging yourself longer than 25, 30.
Okay, no, but they're called the clarifier. They boost certain signals.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, are there any box sets? You'd have to talk to the record company about that. I wouldn't know anything about that, dear, but you have a Merry Christmas and a
You too. Happy holidays.
New Year.
All right.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks, Josephine.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.
Can I give the people some insight about Ace?
Yes, please do. Anton Fig.
From talking from experience.
Of course.
Why he's so great is his will. When he plays, his will comes through in his playing. Like, it's just so strong. And I don't know if I know playing behind the drums, just hammering away, and him coming through is so strong. That's why I love playing with him.
And that's coming from somebody who's played with a ton of people and still does with Letterman on a nightly basis. So that's Anton just kissed your ass, Ace.
Not literally, but thank you.
I'm just kidding. But no, you're absolutely right. No, I understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much, Anton. That was a very nice compliment.
Right.
And I love you too, darling.
Let's talk to Alex, who's calling from Philadelphia. Alex, you're finally on.
How are you, Ace?
Hey, buddy, what's shaking down there in Philly?
Oh, man. I've had to been on hold to be able to listen to you, go out to the car and listen. It's coming in kind of scratchy. It is an honor and a privilege to talk to you.
Well, at least we're leaking into Philadelphia, which is good to see.
Oh, yes, you are. The atmospheric conditions are right. Ace knows about that.
Very cool.
The atmosphere is rocking.
A question for you, Ace. Have you got a chance to read the book by Chris Lind or John Augustine?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Garbage.
On which count? Which books?
All of them.
Really?
Well, the Chris Lent book was Kiss and Sell, and that was written by the money guy for Kiss, if I remember. And the other one was by the security guy, right, Andre?
Yeah, John Augustine. Or, I'm sorry, Andre Augustine.
Andre Augustine. Yeah.
It's all, it's all over exaggerated, bulldoinky.
Okay.
All right.
No problem. Ace, you have made me a career. I want to thank you. You guys smoked in Camden, and you were even better in Trenton.
Thank you very much. You have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You too, buddy.
All right, Alex, thank you for the call, and thanks for holding for so long, and thanks for listening to Philly. Michael, who's here in New York City. What's up, Michael? You're on live with Ace Frehley.
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey, Mikey.
I'm a fellow Bronxite, Ace. I can call you Punky, or should I call you Paul or Ace, or what can I call you?
Anything you want.
Okay. I'm originally from Walton Avenue. I'll get to the point. Eddie and I have talked for about 10 minutes on a previous show. You remember me, Eddie? I was telling you I'm the documentary filmmaker doing the interviews.
Okay.
Did the emails with you. It's a long story, but I'm doing a documentary film on the 60s and the 70s, the culture of the times, and getting into the whole theatrical rock thing. And I actually interviewed Bill Aucoin, Ace, and also Cecil Holmes.
Is he sober?
He was fine. We did it at Carol Kay's office.
Okay.
And Cecil Holmes in L.A., he says hello.
All right, but Mike,
Okay, so
we got a lot of people listening.
Okay.
We can't just do this. You have a question.
Here's the point. Ace, you once mentioned that that Casablanca Records and management, Bill's management company, was very responsible for what KISS turned out to be, and they're kind of uncredited somewhat, and people should realize just how much those two factions contributed to the success. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I think you're correct in that statement. They were very instrumental in making us who we are today.
All right.
And you must give credit where credit is due.
And I don't think that's exactly... I think that Aucoin does get a lot of credit for that. I don't think that's necessarily accurate that they don't, but that's Michael's opinion. Let's talk to John from Queens. What's up, John? You're finally on after holding for almost an hour and a half. Thanks for waiting. How you doing?
Yes, thanks for having me on, Eddie. Just want to say that. Ace, I have two questions for you. My first question is, what do you think of current shock rock acts? Since KISS were the original pioneers of shock rock, I'd just like to know what do you think of current shock rock acts like Marilyn Manson and Insane Clown Posse?
Well, I think it's just, an extension of, what we did and what we do. And, I think that, I don't have any problem with them. I think, there's a market and there's enough space for everybody to do what they want to do. And, I think Marilyn Manson is an interesting group, and, they do what they do, and people buy their records, and God bless them.
Dope Show is a great song.
I think Marilyn Manson's a great band because they've got the music that backs up the whole thing. And I think the other thing you got to give them credit for is the fact that they came out, and I often say this, at the height of grunge, when nobody was dressing up and nobody was putting on a show as far as new bands were concerned, and they had the balls to do it. And I thought that was another thing that was really cool. Obviously, nobody's the most original thing. Everybody borrows from places, but I thought that was interesting. John, you've been holding so long. What's your other point, real quick?
Yes, my second question is, I just want to ask you, is how do you feel about playing KISS songs live that you weren't on the original studio versions, like Lick It Up and Heaven's on Fire?
I have fun doing it because, I think about Bruce, all the songs that he had to copy my solos. And for me to try to reinterpret his solos, to me it's fun, because... he never copied my solos note for note, and I don't copy his solos note for note. So, basically, we each do our own interpretation of each other, and I got a kick out of it. So, I'm good friends with Bruce, and he's a great guy and a great guitar player, and God love him.
Now, let me tell you something, Ace, and you know me, and we know each other a long time, so I'm gonna cover you here. The three songs that you play, Bruce didn't play on any of those three.
You just like
whatever. It's got to be the four original guys.
No, I'm just so for the future. That wasn't Bruce.
Playing on them?
Well, Lick It Up was Vinnie Vincent. Heaven's on Fire
he's
was
a hell of a guitar player.
All right, Heaven's on Fire was Mark St. John. Who was in the band for like a second.
God, gee, that was a terrible thing.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. That's
yeah,
right. That's
his wife.
That's a really, that's a strange
No,
thing.
but the thing is, all those guitarists are saying play it like Ace would have played it.
Right.
Well, they try.
Well, absolutely.
It can't ever sound like that, even though they're great in their own right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's get a couple more people on real quick that have been waiting.
But they're great.
Well over an hour. Absolutely. Lex, who's in Nebraska. Lex, what are you doing in Nebraska?
I have no idea. It's very cold
Bowling
out
for
here.
cheese.
Oh, Ace, how you doing? Anton?
I'm hanging out, in New York here, with all the rock stars and luminaries and whatnot.
Are you, Lex, are you listening to this somehow, or are you just calling in because you knew Ace was going to be here?
I'm calling in because I knew he was going to be there.
And how'd you know that? Through the EddieTrunk.com website?
I went on there, but my friend had an email and said that he was going to be on tonight.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible, the Kiss fans, how they just, the word gets out. That's awesome. So,
Kiss
Lex,
fans stick together.
What's your question? Because it's cold here, too, not just in Nebraska.
Well, my question is how do you feel about possibly bringing Frehley's Comet back after the tour's over?
Frehley's Comet died a long time ago.
No
It
chance
went from Frehley's Comet to the Ace Frehley Band, and when I leave Kiss, it will be the Ace Frehley Band.
Well, on your Frehley's Comet, the song "Calling to You" I think was awesome. I love that song. I don't think
who wrote that.
That's a Todd song.
I think that was Todd.
Todd Howarth. Are you? Yeah, you're on the West Coast, right?
No, he's in Nebraska.
I'm in Central. I'm in the.
But you're closer to the West than the East, right?
Yeah.
Right smack in the middle.
Okay.
I'm right in the city is right in the middle of.
Do you take apart cars and put them back together?
What's that?
Do you take apart cars and put them back together?
It depends if it's recyclable. Frehley's Comet was a really great band. Or
I didn't answer my question.
I can say
because he was a gearhead.
You can call the band anything. Whenever we play together, there's a certain magic that happens, and whatever the configuration, however it goes.
That's Anton Fig, who is a member of the band of Frehley's Comet as well.
Anton Fig, yes.
Yeah, he's here as well.
Hey,
Anton Fig Newton.
Hey, Lex, I'll let you in on a little secret since you mentioned that song "Calling to You."
Yeah.
Todd, who wrote that song, used to be in a band called 707, and he had a song on.
The plane went down.
Seriously, this is really true because I worked for Ace's label at the time and knew how this went down. There was a
the plane.
No, there was a Todd came from a band called 707, and the name of the album that Todd was on with 707 was called Megaforce. And there's a song on the 707 album called Megaforce, which is actually Calling to You. It was just rewritten for Ace's album with a different title. Wow. Because remember, we thought that it would be goofy because you'd be singing a song called Megaforce.
Yeah, Walt Disney.
That was the name of the label.
Walt Disney, Goofy.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Right.
You knucklehead.
My real quick question.
Quick. Something intelligent.
You declined an interview with Metal Edge for Special Kiss magazine. And that
it was just because I didn't have the time to do it because I was doing computer graphics.
All right, Lex. Thank you for the call from Nebraska.
You have a happy holiday,
yes.
Lex, and thank you very much for holding that long.
We're going to get these people that have been waiting really long on here real quick. Ken, who's in Walden, New Jersey. Ken, you're finally on. What's up?
Yeah, how's it going?
Not bad. You're on live with Ace and Anton Fig.
All right, how's it going, Ace?
Not bad. It's getting a little late, but, I'm still hanging in there, buddy.
Yeah, I've been on for 2 hours, Holden.
All right, so what's your question? Let's go.
I just want to know real quick. I've seen you guys about 8 times, and one of my favorite songs is Hotter Than Hell, and I never heard you play it live. I was just wondering if you guys will play it live.
Because Paul and Gene didn't want to do it.
All right, thanks. Good question, good answer. Keith from Yonkers.
I love Eddie.
Keith is on right now. He's been waiting an hour, too. Well, we got to move here. We got a ton of people. Keith, you're on live with Ace. Let's go.
Hey, Ace, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Just want to say you're a great guitar player.
Thank you, sir.
And it's my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And you made my birthday just the best gift talking to you.
Thank you.
And my father actually pulled you over last year, or a couple of years ago in Bronxville, New York. And he didn't give you the ticket, but I got your autograph. And
strange things happen.
Yeah, and I just want to ask you, I'm trying to make it too in the music business. I have CDs I've recorded, and how come it's so hard to make it? I have somebody listen to your stuff.
God, you got to be at the right place at the right time. It's like fate. So I can tell you.
That's it. It really is. There's just as much luck goes into it than talent. It really is. And finally, this guy's been waiting for a long time, and he's listening in L.A., I think. Is this Matt?
Yeah, Ace, how you doing?
Hey, you're on live. How are you, Matt? Where are you in California?
I'm calling from Fresno.
Fresno?
Yeah.
What's the temperature there?
Oh, like 40 or 50 something.
40 or 50?
I think it's 55.
55.
Anyways, my question is, I have two. I'll make it fast. There was a rumor that I heard about the band on the last tour. It was a rumor, I know, that you guys weren't getting along. You were fighting and beating each other up backstage or whatever. And,
Beating each other up?
something like that. And
Oh,
I just
what,
want to
doing
know
strange things? With
was it true? Is there any truth to it at all?
No.
And can you come back to L.A. before you end the tour?
No, we go back so long. I mean, you know, we all have children. I mean, you know, we're the best of friends.
All right, Matt, thank you for your phone call. We appreciate it, and thanks for checking in from Fresno. And as far as going to L.A., I guess, I mean, you don't know if you're going to do a full U.S. run again, right? Right now it's just playing in the Garden. Is that the idea?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's do some more music here because there's a ton of requests still to get to.
Thank you very much for holding.
All you guys that held for a really long time. I know there's some more people on the line. And actually, we should get one person on here real quick because he is somewhat in the inner circle of things. Mr. Carl Cochran.
What's up?
What's up, man?
What are you guys doing?
The Cock Man.
I'm just hanging at my gig, man. I heard you guys have been on all night.
Yeah, we had Eric on earlier.
Oh, you did?
And Gilby Clark.
Oh, cool. Very
They're
cool.
having a Christmas party.
And for those of you who don't know, Carl is a member of Ace's band.
And me and Carl co-wrote
Into the Void, which we played earlier, and we credited you, Carl. Ace did.
Thank you, guys.
Ace made sure that he did, so.
Thank you. Love you, too, man.
Where's your gig, man, tonight?
I'm in Sayreville, a place called Bellows.
If you're still playing, give it a plug. Get some people down there.
We're all down here. It's a big Christmas party, and everybody come on down. We're here New Year's Eve, too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Keep on rocking, my friend.
I'm rocking, baby.
All right, Carl, thanks for checking in.
All right, man. Love you guys. I'll be in touch.
All right, we'll see you.
You too, man. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Very cool. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Carl. All right, the guy was talking about Lick It Up before. We had a bunch of calls for it. It's a song that Kiss is doing in concert on the farewell tour, even though Ace doesn't play on it. Of course, he does on the live version when you go see him on the farewell tour. So here it is. We'll get back to some more music, and we'll take a couple more calls. I still have a ton of stuff to give away and more music to get to on the
your act together.
original Merry Kissmas special. Ace Frehley live in the studio. Anton Fig's here as well on 102.7 WNEW. It's the original Merry Kissmas special, Saturday Night Rock special edition on 102.7 WNEW. And there's a track from Ace Frehley's favorite Kiss album. He loves that album, and he forced me to play stuff from The Elder. He wanted me to play the whole thing, and he just loves The Elder and can't talk more highly about any other record.
Twinkie.
I knew that would get you in here. I was telling Ace earlier today, I was talking to you this afternoon, and I was like, a lot of people want me to play The Elder in its entirety. He's like, don't play that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, but that's a good song when you listen to that back, right? Anton's just having his own conversation on the microphone. And now Anton said he had a hand in writing that song.
The riff and the verse. Ace heard it, he liked it, and he took it, and then he wrote more stuff
I
too.
find it quite accommodating, but the problem is every time I play that record and I'm driving, I get a ticket.
Do you really?
And I throw the album out the window. It's a bad luck album, and it was our least selling album.
And it was your last. It was really the last album you played on in the band.
Well, when I heard the mix, I smashed the CD, the cassette. It's before CDs.
Right.
Against the wall.
Because
they cut out half my guitar solos. And I have the original mix with all the guitar solos, which will be released one day.
I'd love to hear that.
I know.
And
I may give you the feature on that.
That would be cool. Because it's funny because that's a Bob Ezrin record, and Ezrin did one of the best loved Kiss albums was Destroyer, and then he did this album, which over time a lot of people have kind of grown to say they like The Elder a lot, but I know that even the band, even the rest of the band, all say that it's not really the record they wanted to make, I guess.
Well, there was a mountain and it got smaller.
Oh.
A molehill, if you will.
It was a mountain of snow, and it depleted.
Right. The Aerosmith syndrome. as it's been often documented. Well, we have to take a break.
Characteristic of the rock industry.
Right. We have to take a break. Anton Fig is here live. Ace Frehley is here live. And we're still just hanging out, playing some records. And I'm going to go into overtime. I don't know how much longer you want to stay, but I'm going to go past 2 because I want to play some more records. So you can hang or split or whatever you want to do.
You can do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can, break the rules.
Yeah. When Mike Piazza was here a couple weeks ago, he kept me on till 5 in the morning. So
get out.
Yeah, so I called the Piazza Zone. Seriously. So we were here till 5.
I'll hang till 3, man.
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Sounds good.
Anton lives locally. You're walking distance.
The Figmeister is like...
The Fig Man.
You can walk home.
Very cool. All right.
I got to take a limo.
Let's take a break and we'll come...
Rush.
Speaking of Rush, you have some great stories about touring with Rush.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I had Getty. Getty was on the show a couple weeks ago.
You talk about the bag? He used to put a bag over his head and draw a face.
Over whose head? Getty Lee?
No. Who's the guitar player? Alex Lifeson?
Yeah.
He used to put a bag over his head and draw a face and smoke pot through it. Hysterical. We would roll around on the floor till our stomachs hurt. It was too funny for words. You had to see it in real life.
That is funny because you think of Rush as being these like real serious musicians, and to see Alex Lifeson smoking pot with a paper bag on his head must have been great.
No, it was like one of those big, huge bags for laundry. It was gigantic. It covered his whole body, and it was bigger than his body. It was wider than his shoulders. It was amazing. I don't know what, they don't even make them anymore. You know, before they got cheap with wood.
All right. All right, let's take a break and we'll come back. There's a lot of people once again that have questions for Ace, and if you're up for that, we'll talk to those people as well. And we'll do more and hang out here longer on the original Merry Kissmas special, Saturday Night Rocks, NEW. All right, we're back with Saturday Night Rocks, 102.7 WNEW FM, New York City, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. It is Eddie Trunk, and we are still rolling with the original Merry Kissmas special on this special edition. And normally we wrap up the show around now, but of course we're going into, what I dubbed Piazza territory. And I dubbed that in honor of Mike, who came in here a few weeks ago, and we stayed on till 5. So we're now making it a tradition to go into overtime, it seems, and with good reason, because we've had some killer guests here, and we do right now. Ace Frehley still live in the studio, and Anton Fig is here as well, who's done so much work with Ace and with Kiss, to name millions of others not millions, but hundreds, I'm sure, of others. And Anton actually picked this one from Ace's solo album that he wanted to hear. And what track was it, I'm in Need of Love?
Yeah, I haven't heard it for ages, but I love it for the Echoplex on the guitar, and that it's just so primal and rock, and just big chords.
Wait, Ace, I got to turn it. There you go. What were you saying, Ace?
It was a tube Echoplex, not transistorized.
See, you're funny because you won't remember certain things, but then you'll remember something specific like that.
Well, I mean, stuff like that, guitar players remember.
Yeah, I guess so. So, Anton, it was a tube Echoplex.
Okay. Well, it sounds good, whatever it was.
All right. Ace, any stories you want to tell about this track, I'm in Need of Love?
After we cut it, I threw popcorn on him.
I was asleep.
Oh, you were asleep?
I was with the waitress.
You were with a waitress?
That served us dinner.
And you threw popcorn on Anton while he was sleeping?
Well, I was in the loft with her.
Was he? Oh, okay.
And he was on the couch below. It was a townhouse.
Do you remember being pelted with popcorn, Anton?
We covered him in popcorn. I had a huge bag, like the ones you get in the, you see the guys in the movie theater.
Right.
So we said, one, it started with 1, 2, it started snowing. Next thing you know, he was covered in popcorn. But he was a good sport about it.
I was Colonel Fig.
Colonel Fig. God bless him.
All right, let's do it right now. From Ace's 1978 solo album with Anton on drums. By request, I'm in Need of Love on the original Merry Kissmas. We have more stories to tell about that because Ace is saying stuff and Anton's saying stuff. That is Ace and I'm in Need of Love from the 78 Kiss solo album. Ace, what were you saying about that?
Oh, I said the old Echoplexes with the tubes had more warmth to them.
Oh, yeah.
Sound, just like Marshall amps. Any type of tubular amp has a warmer sound.
Do you still use that kind of equipment still?
Yes.
Mostly?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anton, any...
Yes,
well,
sir.
actually, the funny thing was we realized that another member of the current Letterman band was playing bass on that, was Will Lee on bass, right?
Yeah, he's on that one.
How did you end up hooking up with Will Lee, Ace? Or did you find out through Anton?
I went to this attorney, and I was filling out my will, and he said to he said, Will Lee? Yeah.
Jesus
Murphy, I mean, you asked me these questions, and you expect me to give you a serious answer? Come on, you know who Willie is. Willie is the bass player in the David Letterman band for 10 years.
Right, but I'm asking you, how did you get involved with him in 1978 on this record?
I don't know.
Maybe Eddie brought him in, possibly.
He walked through the door.
He played on two of the songs. Basically, the record was Ace was playing everything. We cut it rhythm, guitar, and drums, and then Ace did bass, leads, vocals, background vocals,
like
almost everything.
The harmonies on that, I was singing.
And then Will played on two songs, and there was, I think, other background singers on New York Groove.
Yeah,
So
other
basically
than that, I did everything, vocal, every harmony, every bass part, every guitar part, every lead part, every rhythm part.
Who was Larry Kelly and Sue Kelly?
I used to be in a club band with Larry Kelly, and Sue Kelly was his wife.
Okay, because they have co-writing credit on Rip It Out, I just noticed.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's interesting.
Good people.
Yeah, cool.
Haven't seen them in a while. I don't know where they are, but if they're listening, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Let's grab a couple more calls because, of course, all the lines are jammed, and people, of course, want to talk to the Ace. So let's get him on the air real quick.
I have
and say hello.
163 IQ, so you can ask me like E equals MC squared and all that, you know.
Hey, Kevin.
Physics.
Kevin in Brooklyn, what's happening? Kevin.
Yeah, right
Wake
here.
up.
You're on live. He's been waiting almost an hour. What's up, Kev?
What's going on, Ace?
Turn your radio down.
206. Wake up.
I'm up. You up?
Yeah.
What's your question, man?
I got a good question for you since you're into physics and all that other stuff.
Quantum physics.
I got a good question. Now, how many miles or light years is it for you to get from Earth back to Jendel?
How many light years?
Yeah.
Well, 3.
Is that it,
Thank
Kevin?
you very much.
That's your final answer?
No, I have one more question. One more
That's
question.
your final answer?
Now, do you leave from JFK or from Kennedy Space Station?
I leave from my own port, which is an unknown
vessel.
Well, that's a great thing. Thanks for answering.
right.
I always wondered.
Well, thank you.
He's
But
got
I
his-
See you
can't-
later,
I
eh?
can't- Okay, bro.
Take care.
Catch you at the garden.
Of course, you know, when Ace has to return to his home planet, by all means, he has to have his own port. So that's certainly, well, I'm being
Believe
handed
it or
something by
not,
Billy.
I will return before the end of the tour in public.
Look at this.
I fly him back.
I have the same thing. I gave it to him.
Alien driver's license. That's great. Where to go now? Let's talk to Lori on Staten Island and say hello.
Lori.
Hey, Lori, how are you?
Hi, fine. How are you?
Good. You're on Live with Ace.
Hi, Ace. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Do we ever have sex?
No.
Okay, I was just curious.
No. I'm very happily married.
Oh, very
God
good.
bless you.
What's your question?
My question is, are there any musicians today that you like to listen to or that you enjoy?
I like the guitar player in Rage. I like the guitar player in
Tom Morello.
Pearl Jam. Because they copy my style.
It's very flattering, Taze.
Yeah, I think it's real cute when guitar players copy me.
Okay, Eddie?
Yeah.
Okay, my husband Jimmy, we sent you his CD. Did you get it yesterday?
I It's probably in my mail here, but I haven't even gotten to my mail yet. But it's here at the station.
We sent it FedEx, so if you can give Ace his copy, that would be wonderful.
All right, I'll look for it.
I'll listen to it, sweetheart.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks. Merry
All right.
Christmas.
See ya. Same to
Thanks
you.
for holding so long.
Andy in Clifton, New Jersey. What's up, ma'am? Andy, you're on live.
Hey,
Hello.
what's going on, man?
Hey.
You're a god,
it
bro.
is.
You're a god, man.
You know it.
You are a god.
Hey, Ace, did you see...
Look, we just passed 2 o'clock, man.
Did you see the VH1 Fan Club show on KISS that was on yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see it, Ace?
No, but I don't have to.
Well, because you're in it. You did it.
Of course.
Of course, but I mean...
What else is new?
I thought it was really...
Tell me something I don't know.
But I'm wondering if you... Well, you didn't see you did your interview, but you didn't see the interviews with some of the fans that were on there yet. It's...
Well,
the girl that was
wasn't negative.
No, the girl that was the dentist was unbelievable. Did you catch that, Andy?
Yeah, she was smoking.
Yeah, she was
what, on gas?
She was a guest.
Too much gas, right? Nitrous oxide or whatever they call it.
Andy, what's your question?
Yeah, I got. Are you guys going to be planning on changing your set list when you guys come to the garden?
I think when Paul and Zine sniff glue, we will.
Yeah, well, maybe you should set them some glue for Christmas, you know?
Yeah, well.
And what do you guys plan on doing after your
left
tour?
over, from the 60s, but, I don't know if I want to give them up.
And what do you guys plan on doing after
I'm
you're
just
done
kidding
touring?
around. Excuse me, sir?
What do you guys plan on doing after you're done touring?
I'm going to reform my solo band and do another solo album.
All right.
And get involved with computer graphics and animation and do some acting. And
a car dealership.
And also, I've also been asked to do score a few films. So, like, the sky's the limit with me.
Harry out on Long Island. What's up, Harry? You're on live with Ace.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you?
Pleasure to talk to you, Ace. And speaking of the computer graphics and I had heard that you had done some painting before. You'd had an exhibit of your art within the last couple of years.
Yeah, I did it with Infinite D.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if you plan on having any exhibits in the near future. And also, Eddie, I wanted to know if I could score one of the Kissmas packages there.
Well, we're going to give those away in a little bit, so hang up the phone. You have a chance to call back in for it. But go ahead and answer the question there, Ace.
I don't have the time right now, but probably a couple of years.
All right. We had a request for Take Me from Rock and Roll Over, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to play a bunch of tunes that we need to get to. But I apologize to everybody who's on hold and jamming up the lines.
Thank you for holding very much. It's very flattering.
We need to clear out the lines right now because we're now going to give away... what do you think, Ace? Should we do the PC game or the Kiss Lunchbox? What should we do? Kiss
I think the Lunchbox, it's cold. As long as you fill it with food.
Is there a thermos in there?
Yeah,
Open that up there, guy. Let's see what's in the Kiss
some pizza
Lunchbox.
in there, a couple of cheese sandwiches and whatnot, a couple of egg rolls,
Egg rolls and cheese sandwiches. The lunch of every student.
Tuna fish.
Actually, this is really nice. This is
well, most of them are.
Oh, there's no thermos.
No thermos.
This is
that's a total insult.
This is the
I didn't approve that product whatsoever.
This is a new Kiss Lunchbox with
no thermos.
With no thermos.
I give up.
But the faces are raised.
Then people, people always say to me, "Why did I quit the band?" No, goddamn thermos.
This is it. This thermos is the reason why
Jesus
Ace
Murphy.
quit the damn band.
No thermos.
You know what? I got to tell you something funny that I and this is me talking.
Of course it is. I see you talking.
I find it hysterical that if you go back and you look at videotape of Gene or Paul talking about Kiss and the demise and breakup of the band in 79 and 80, the thing they point to is stuff like this coming out and how it became a cartoon act and all this stupid merchandise and lunchboxes. And here we are 20 years later with the brand new Kiss Lunchbox.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
Look, but the faces are lifted.
So there you go. That's worth it right there. That is pretty cool, though.
That costs money. So they lifted the faces, and
You got to find another.
Deleted the furnace.
Deleted the furnace.
The furnace. No. Well, I mean, you need oil for the furnace, but no, seriously. They deleted the thermos, which is an expensive item.
But in all honesty, this is a very nice prize, and obviously it will be collectible
Without
someday.
a thermos, I don't even want it.
But it never came with a thermos.
My face is on the side, too. Okay, it's not that bad.
Well, the faces are on each side there.
Okay, you better fill it with sandwiches.
All right, so the Kiss thermos. Should we take
I'll make them with mayonnaise. My father-in-law calls mayonnaise monkey vomit. God love him. He's a sweet
Should we
guy.
do a Kiss?
Vinny,
should we do a Kiss trivia question for the lunchbox? Anybody have a good Kiss trivia question?
Yeah. Who played guitar on Creatures of the Night?
I know that. Do you know it? You know, is it the same person I'm thinking of? I mean, I think it's.
I was on Demerol.
I don't know that song.
I had a car accident, but you never know.
Oh, on that particular song or on the whole record? Are you talking on that particular song or the whole record?
That song.
On that song? You know for a fact who it was? Because we're going to give away a prize. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, so let's take some people and see if they get the right.
Okay.
Who played guitar on the song Creatures of the Night? 877-692-1027 and the Kiss lunchbox with the raised faces is yours. Let's just try a call here. Hey, you know the answer. Who's this?
Oh, yeah, just tell Ed the Kiss thermos is sold separately.
Who's this, Russell?
Yeah.
Russell, you're on the air live.
Oh, cool.
Russell's the guy who hooked us up earlier with Eric Singer. He's a friend of Eric's.
Yeah,
Russell,
you got to buy them separately. You sell the whole set of them. You think they'll give you a free thermos? Forget it.
Russell rocks.
Russell's a big Kiss fan and a collector.
He's an man, not a double G.
All right, Russell, thank you.
Take care.
All right, we'll see you.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thermos sold separately.
Thermos sold separately.
Lori, where you...
Doesn't include batteries.
Lori, where are you calling from?
Staten Island.
Staten Island, you know the answer?
Yes.
What is it?
Vinny Cusano, a.k.a. Vinny Vincent.
You are correct.
Yay!
And she wins it.
Yay!
See, I faked it. I made believe like it was me.
No, I thought it was I thought it was somebody else besides Vinnie Vincent, actually, but I guess I was wrong.
You were.
All right, Lori, congratulations.
Vinnie Vincent,
Thank
excellent
you.
guitar player.
Well, the credit goes to my husband. He told me the answer.
All right, well, you have to go find a thermos for this now because it's sold separately, Russell just told us. But it is a very nice lunchbox, and maybe we'll find another. We'll put an Ace guitar pick in it. How's that?
Oh, cool. All
right, very good. Lori,
2, 1 white and 1 blue.
All right, very cool.
Thank you.
All right,
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Merry Christmas again. I just talked to you 5 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. You're lucky.
I got a fast redial button.
You do. Hold on, okay?
Thank you.
I'd like to play with that button.
She's the one that was happily married.
Yeah, right.
All right. Let's play another record here. We had a request for something from Rock and Roll Over, great record. And here's Take Me from that CD. And we'll be back with more of the original Merry Kissmas special edition of Saturday Night Rocks. Nothing but Kiss. Ace Frehley still live in the studio. Anton Fig hanging out as well. And there's so many people on the phone line that's jamming the lines with people that want to talk to Ace. We're going to get away from live phone calls for a little bit here. But we do want to clear out the lines, and we are going to now give some people to have a chance to make some requests. So anything that came out under the Kiss name is fair game. And we're going to have Rory clear out the phone lines, and we'll take 5 requests. And if we haven't played the song, we'll play those 5 right in a row for you right now. 877-692-1027. First 5 people with a Kiss request from any era, any lineup. We will take your 5 requests and play them back for you. And then maybe we'll come back and get a couple more phone calls on here. But right now we want requests at 877-692-1027. First 5 that have not yet been played tonight will go on the air. Here's one from the Crazy Nights CD. We haven't played anything from this record yet. We did have a couple calls for it. This is probably my favorite track on this CD. It's called I'll Fight Hell to Hold You on the original Merry Kissmas special. All right, that one was...
Feedback City.
Pull your mic up now. The feedback is figured out.
Was that really?
I swear to God, I'll put it on at the top again if you really want to hear it again.
If
Anton said it and I said it. The feedback's in the
mixer's
record.
fired. He's been fired.
No, I trust you guys. I've known you too long.
That was a live version of New York Groove recorded in
And Billy St. John has just walked in the room.
with Scotch tape.
With an FBI patch on his shirt.
Towels and a flashlight.
Flashlight, light,
Did you know it turns into
extra batteries.
Recorded live in 1980 on the Australian tour with Eric Carr on drums, the first tour with Eric. Back in the New York Groove, of course, that's a special.
We were drinking, buddies.
And you said you drank Australia dry as champagne on that tour, right?
We wiped out all the Dom Perignon in the country.
Wow.
By the time we left, you couldn't buy any Dom Perignon.
And that show was in front of a huge stadium audience, because I think there's some video of it, too. And it was actually the Unmasked tour, and Eric was just a monster back there on the drums. It was great to hear.
He's a great drummer.
He was a great drummer.
It was so easy to play, you know. I mean, I could play it in my sleep.
Right. What were you saying, Anton?
When you're awake. No. You sounded great. The vocal was great on that.
Thank you very much.
Anton Fig is here
You
live
know,
in the studio.
you have very nice eyes, Mr. Fig. Did anybody ever tell you that?
This is like I think my oldest American friend.
You have a shade of... What color are your eyes?
Azure.
What?
What?
Azure.
Oh, that's a bluish
green.
Blue-green.
Yeah.
Bluish green? I have a brown green.
I have a blue-green, but they call it hazel. Anton has the azure.
And you, honey, what color are your eyes?
She's about to go to sleep, I think. Her eyes are about to do. Those were the 5 requests that we had. Let me read who they were for. New York Groove was for John on Long Island. Hard Luck Woman for John, Central Islip. Also Long Island. Anything for My Baby, Evan in Brooklyn. Mr. Speed, Neil, Bloomfield, New Jersey. And Christine 16, Scott in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So there were the 5 that we
close
took.
until all the names have been announced.
There you go. Yeah, very good. Very good. What do you want to do now? You want a couple calls before you get out of here?
I want a cup of Koopy and a Kiki.
We'll take like a couple more calls. We of course have all our lines jammed.
Yeah, I mean, they've been holding. I'll take them.
All right, let's get through these guys real quick, and then we should wrap this up because
it's
getting late.
Tin foil is expensive.
Eileen, you're on live. Eileen's from Staten Island. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Good. We got to move through these real quick.
Okay,
So what's
I just
your
have
question?
a quick comment for Ace.
Okay.
Ace, my son is 11 years old and a huge Kiss fan. I can't wait for you guys to be in concert again. I'm going to drag him over there. And I just had to say that, thank you for that for him.
All right.
For still being around and you guys are still kicking ass. Sorry.
Thank you very much, and you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Eileen, very much. Vinny in Amityville. Vinny, you're on live. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
What's up,
your
Ace?
last name Vincent?
Hey, Ace. I just wanted to say thanks a lot for when I first started listening to Kiss, I listened to it live. And my favorite song about that was Firehouse. I love the sirens and everything. So it got me into being into the fire thing, the Firehouse, whatever. 22 years later, I've become one of New York's bravest. And what happens? I've come down to the East Village maybe 2 weeks ago, and I wound up helping out a buddy of yours down in a jewelry store over there. He's a good friend of yours.
Frankie?
Is that his name?
I don't know.
I'm walking out of there, and I see this big Ace Frehley poster. I'm like, how much for the poster? He's like, no, he's like a brother to him. It's all autographed. He's got the VIP passes.
Dark hair?
Yeah. Long hair,
Big
lot of tattoos.
Big nose?
I don't think anybody else cares about this, but Vinny, thank you very much for the phone call. Let's move along. Scott in New City. Hey, Scott, you're on live. How are you?
How you doing, Eddie? How's it going?
Good.
My question is to Ace.
Thank you for holding.
Yeah, no problem. My question is for Ace. Is there anything in your career that you have not done that you would like to do, or do you have any regrets of anything that you have done in the past?
Well, I've made mistakes, but you learn by your mistakes. And I think I've learned by my mistakes. I don't think I've made my best record yet. So that's yet to come. So keep listening, and thank you for waiting.
All right.
He did it his way.
Virginia in Long Island. Virginia.
Hi.
Hey, you're on
How are
live.
you?
How are you?
Okay. Hi. I've actually got two questions.
All right, go ahead.
One of them is, I have it written down. I'm actually in a chat room.
She took notes.
Well, I have a couple people asking questions.
Okay, well,
one of them was, is there really 2 albums worth of material for Scarlet?
Scarlet. You mean Richie Scarlet?
I guess. I don't know.
I have no idea. We don't know what that is.
Okay. And the other one was, when was the DVD for the pay-per-view coming out? If there is going to be one.
Do you know about that, Ace?
I don't have a clue. They don't tell me anything.
Oh, sorry, Virginia. I
You
accidentally
gotta call Paul
disconnected
and
you.
Gene on that one, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for holding.
Ace isn't all that involved in those decisions, but there is apparently a DVD coming out with extra footage, which I'm told there's some backstage footage of Ace and his daughter and me all hanging out talking in the hallway. So I'm
That's
curious
news to
see
me.
that. Yeah.
Thanks for telling me. I'm hearing it for the first time live on the air.
Chris in Jersey City.
Everybody here is hearing that.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Ace, listen, man. I just have to say, my friend Rob, hey, Rob, listen, I hope you're listening to this. He's the biggest fan of all from Kiss, you know? And I have to ask a question. Seeing the Phantom, the Kiss meets the Phantom, what was your whole take on that? And would you do another movie or a TV special?
Well, we did do a second movie. It was called Detroit Rock City. Are you aware of that?
He's gone. He's gone. We've got to keep moving. He's gone.
Yeah. Thanks for holding.
Thanks for... Hey, Anton, you pipe down over there. I'm running a tight ship. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Cough medicine.
So he wants to know if there's any other movies besides that. Because Detroit Rock City...
No, he said Phantom in the Park.
Yeah, but
Other movie.
you know what? The fans don't think of Detroit Rock City as really being a Kiss movie because you guys were in it for like 2 minutes. I think they're thinking more something about the band. That's always the question I get.
Wow.
You don't... again...
Yeah, well, you
right.
know,
There's
that's it.
Right. Talk to Gene and Paul.
I'm going to be in a new movie called 1,000 Maniacs.
For real? This is for real?
Yes.
Yeah, you were telling me about that before. Sally in Brooklyn. Sally, you're on live with Ace Frehley.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for making it.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
Mustang Sally.
Hey, Ace, let me tell you, your voice is just killing me here.
Really?
So I want to ask you a few questions, or at least one. Okay?
I got a quick trigger finger right now on the caller, so...
No, I know it's fast. I'd like to know what your feelings or your opinions are on Napster.
NASA?
Napster?
Now, do you know what Napster is, Ace?
No.
NASA we can get into also, Ace. It's not a problem.
Well, see...
I'm more familiar with NASA than...
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, Sally, Ace, and this is funny because when I was talking to Ace earlier in the week, I said, let me send you an email. And he's totally into computers, but
absolutely,
he doesn't even have the internet. He's not into that end of it at all.
Too bad. I'm in a Kiss chat room as we speak, and I have a whole crew of fans just cheering it on.
Well, make sure you tell everybody to go to my website because we're going to...
We all do.
We're going to have the audio for this up.
Explain to me what I don't know.
I'm sorry?
Explain to me what I don't know.
Oh, I would love to.
Napster is a huge debate going on right now, and it's basically, to make an extremely long story short, it's a way where people can download music, anything, any music.
You're talking about the MPG stuff.
But this is the site that people can go to and get any song for free on the internet.
I'm against it.
You're against it, right?
Of course, because, you know...
Well, the money part is the big issue.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
You know, we work hard to make a great record, and, you know, people go to the stores to buy it, you know, and for people to be able to download it off the internet, CD quality, it's thievery.
Absolutely. There should be a little compromise somewhere within there so that people get paid.
All right, Sally. Well, listen, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
And make sure you tell everybody online.
They know it. Tell us again.
EddieTrunk.com
Right.
and go there probably sometime next week. And I know a lot of people who weren't able to hear this and wanted to hear it, we'll have the audio up there for you, okay?
Cross country, we certainly do.
Great. Thank you very much.
You too.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Scott in Stamford, Connecticut. Scott, you're on Live with Ace.
Hi, Ace.
I used to live in Wilton.
Hi, Ace.
It was a
First, I
dry
want to
town.
say thank you for the greatest years and memories of my life. I have two quick questions.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you. One is there still plans for a Kiss Casino, and do you think there'll ever be another Kiss auction? Was that really everything?
I had no control of the Kiss auction, and I have no idea what you're talking about as far as the Kiss Casino.
I once heard
I've
Gene...
never heard about it.
Yeah, I heard Gene in an interview saying...
Well, Gene talks about a Kiss circus, a Kiss
Yeah, I
theme
know.
park, a Kiss, Ferris wheel, a Kiss car, a Kiss, flying balloon,
He was
a
saying-
Kiss space shuttle,
He was saying it's supposed to be...
he's high on, helium. He's high on air. I don't know what he's discovered something I haven't found. If I could get what he's got, man,
He was
I'd
saying-
be flying.
He was saying it's supposed to be a
Jesus
Mandalay
Murphy.
Day.
God bless him, but he's a workaholic, and he's the hardest working member of Kiss, and he comes up with some of the most incredible ideas and some of the worst ideas.
Yeah.
But,
Well, thank
half
you very
of the
much.
stuff he says, is not credible. Unfortunately, but I love him anyway because without Gene there is no Kiss.
Yeah, true. All of you are great together. But listen, thank you very much, and have a great Christmas.
Thank
and
you
once
for
again,
holding.
thanks
You
for-
have a happy holiday.
Thank you. Thank
and
you
a
for the
happy
best
New Year,
times.
and hang in there, buddy.
You too, Ace. Take care.
All right, Scott.
Ciao.
Sorry. I just cut him off just a little too late. All right, thanks, Scott, and thanks to all the listeners in Connecticut. Debbie, where are you, in Illinois?
Yes, I am.
My goodness.
I talked to Ace a little while ago, like a couple of hours ago. I'm the one that made the ring for you, Ace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's me again. I forgot to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I wanted to know if Ace is going to be at NAMM this year. Because I heard Peter
I got
was
to call
going to be there.
Gibson.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, because I'm not going to go all the way. I only went the only reason I went out there last year was to see you and to give you that ring, and then, you weren't there, and whatever happened, happened. But, so I thought I'd just ask you. And,
All right, Debbie.
I won't know.
Ace doesn't know, but thank you for the call.
If you check with Gibson in the next week or so, you'll have an answer.
All right, this is our final call of the night.
Thank you very much for the call.
Thank you. This is our final call of the night. Mike in Jersey City. Mike, you're the last caller. Make it a good one.
Okay, I just want to say that I feel like I got a second chance because Ace came through my toll booth on the New Jersey Turnpike one time. I just wanted to ask him about...
I love it. I love it. New Jersey Turnpike.
I just wanted to ask him about Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. He said that was his first concert.
He's a fag.
And, if they were a big influence on him.
He tried to pick up Richie Scarlett when he was like 18 years old. Like, go on. Let's hear the story.
Okay, no, I'm just asking about...
I mean, I believe you. I don't have anything against gay people. I think they're great. But go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just, like Lassie is gay, you know that stuff. But go ahead.
Right. You said that your first concert was Mitch Ryder with The Who and Cream opening up.
Correct.
And I wanted to
Murray
know...
the K show. I was
was a gay
16
show?
years old.
No, he said it was a Murray the K show. The guy goes, it was a gay show.
Murray the K. Murray the K used to promote concerts. And Mitch Ryder was the headliner. I cut school, and the opening act was The Who and The Cream.
Wow. And were you a big fan of Mitch Ryder?
I liked Mitch Ryder very much. I was a major fan of the guitar player,
What was his name?
Jim McCarty.
Jim McCarty.
And ironically, when I was touring with Frehley's Comet with my first solo album after I had left Kiss, he opened for me in the Midwest. And I was like blown away because I used to study his guitar solos because I thought he was one of the best American guitar players around. And the fact that he opened for me blew my mind because I idolized this guy. And to this day, I still think he's one of the greatest guitar players around, but he just never got the notoriety he deserved.
Thank you very much for the call, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Have a happy holiday.
So, Ace, I think we're going to pretty much wrap this up.
Are we winding down?
Yeah, well, I'm going to play a few songs and hang out for a little bit longer, and you can as well, too, but I think we're going to wrap up the call-in section at least. Do you want to say goodbye now, or are you going to hang out for a little while longer?
I'd just like to thank all the people who called in and the people who waited so long because, I mean, that just shows that, you know.
They have a lot of patience.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, people are willing to wait an hour and a half on the phone to talk to me. That's why I'm here.
Well, we hope to get you back here a lot sooner.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we hope to have you here again a lot sooner than last time. And we'll keep everybody up to date with what's happening. But for what we know right now, there's going to be a KISS tour of Australia. Is Japan included in that, too? Is Japan
Looks that way.
So Australia and Japan, and then wrap things up with a garden show or two. Sometime, where'd you say, around April, you think? Supposedly April. And then we'll look forward to some bass solo music.
Definitely.
That'll be a lot of fun. See you out there with the
super.
It'll be what's the word?
Super. Thanks for asking.
Super. Thanks for
from South Park.
I don't want South Park.
I don't know. I might act. I might do some scoring first. There's so many offers right now on the table. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's good.
I don't know what to do.
Very cool. Anton,
you have to will you manage me?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
I'll give you 10%. Bada boom.
10%. That's agent fee, buddy. I got a mortgage to pay.
Oh,
he wants a manager. I know the business, man.
I thought I could slip that in.
No, you don't slip nothing.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, with me, you can do. Anton, thanks for coming by tonight.
It's great to spend the holidays with you and with Ace. Fantastic to see him always.
It's good. It's good now that you know where we are and you're in the neighborhood. Drop in anytime. Nice. And you have a record coming out sometime next year then, right? Yeah. We'll look forward to that. Ace is on it, and we'll definitely talk to Anton some more. And, of course, you can see Anton every night on the Letterman Show as well, kicking some ass on the drums. So thanks to Anton. Thanks to Eric Singer for calling in earlier. Thanks to Gilby Clark for getting on the phone earlier. Who else? Did we miss anybody else?
Bruce called, didn't he?
No. I forgot Bruce's number. I wanted to call him, but I totally forgot. So,
that was a mistake. Sorry, Bruce.
Sorry,
we missed
Bruce.
you, but have a happy holiday, Bruce. We love you.
And
Paul, Gene, and Peter, see you soon.
See you in Australia. Let's do what Ace said was his favorite song to play, and we'll do a couple tracks here, and then I'll come back and officially wrap up this show in just a few minutes. But we certainly cannot end the show without doing Deuce, and we'll do the live version. Ace, you were saying earlier this is your favorite KISS song still to play.
It's the first song I heard when I auditioned for the band.
And the rest, as they say, is Kisstory. Let's do it right now from Kiss Alive on this special edition of Saturday Night Rocks, the original Merry Christmas special.
Well said.